About a
I'm 30
35-minute ride
minutes.
with no traffic. With no
Yeah,
traffic.
I'm about 35 minutes away from Midtown.
Okay,
So
that ain't
yeah,
too bad. That's
no,
about
that ain't bad.
Yeah.
mine, but I'm
Yeah, both of y'all niggas is out of town.
Yeah,
yeah. But technically, yeah. But now we definitely got to link up again in studio, man. I
yeah,
do miss being in
absolutely.
studio, so yeah, we're gonna do it again soon. But yes, we had to get the original crew, the original three, back
Yeah.
in full effect for episode 200 of the Gems and Juice podcast, y'all. Wait, Jay
Right.
Prince got to introduce us first.
Wait, hold on. This is lagging
Oh
so much.
yeah.
Hold
Come
on.
on, Jay Prince, you
Gems
do.
and Juice.
There we
Yes. Episode 200. We did it, y'all. We back in full effect. Got the original three. Got the matriarch of our podcast. If y'all didn't know, she's actually a lovely lady who named our podcast for us.
go.
The
Yeah.
lovely Jules is joining us again. And
What up?
yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you guys. Thank y'all for having me. Prayers and blessings to y'all just keeping it going, doing a great ass
Wait,
job. So,
hold on. What you
hey,
mean for having you, man? You part of the family.
Yeah, really,
what
though.
you mean? Yes.
We told you you can hop on any single time, man.
Mhm.
You ain't no guest.
No, man. That's why I said this is a party. That's why I'm excited. No, I appreciate y'all inviting me. I'm excited. So, but cheers to y'all for doing the damn thing and keeping it going. That's what it takes. So, yeah, man. Celebrate.
Team
I got my.
effort.
Yeah.
It's always been a team effort, man. It's all of us working together. And I remember, we first had our first episodes. I think this 2017. I think it was. We
Yes.
first linked
Yeah.
up. We first
Wow.
started.
Yeah.
I had barely known Figgy. I'd
Yeah.
known you for a little bit, and yeah, that 200 episodes later, we still at it, man. We self-proclaimed most consistent podcast in Houston,
Yeah.
Yes.
without a doubt. So,
Man, props to that for real. Yes.
Yeah. I was thinking about this not that long ago. I'm like, damn, I remember, we were all part-time producers.
mhm.
We were
Mm-hmm.
trying to, we for some reason we end up in the same studio, and we be sitting there having a podcast, just
That was it.
recording.
Talking
Yeah,
shit. Yeah. Having
yeah,
debates about, oh, you still Jay-Z fan, I see. I'm taking
Yeah, your Beyonce takes we would have to
all day.
argue too because you hated
All
her and thought her breath stank.
all day. All day. So
Yeah.
yeah. It's just good. It's crazy how long of a way we came, man.
yes.
Because I
Yeah.
honestly thought this podcast wasn't going to last that long. So we stuck together. I mean, I can't thank you enough for even starting this. So
Yeah, man.
yeah.
And y'all carrying it on and sharing the love. I appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate y'all always.
No,
It's
no.
good to be back. It feels so good. I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God.
Now we got a lot to talk about, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into your takes on things that have gone on.
Mhm.
Since we last talked, it's been a minute since we talked to you, so we're definitely gonna
Mhm.
revisit some things, talk about what you bumping lately, your favorite albums and whatnot. But of
Ooh.
course, first and foremost, we have to cover the breaking news, the news that broke today. And I know we ain't typically a sports podcast like we always say. Y'all get enough of that on 610, listen to all that shit. But look, we got to cover this because it covers the city, it covers the Browns, Figgy's team, and it covers everybody. The Deshaun Watson saga is finally over in Houston.
Mm.
A year to the day almost when this whole shit started.
Yeah.
It's finally wrapped up. Deshaun Watson, I'm sure all of you have heard now, is going to the Cleveland Browns in a blockbuster new deal he signed with them. $230 million over 5 years guaranteed.
Mm.
The Texans get 3 first-round picks and then like a third or in a fourth or fifth, some weird swap shit. I don't care about that bullshit. But basically, yeah, 3 first-round picks is what matters. No players. Baker is still in Cleveland technically. I'm sure he'll be dealt pretty soon to another team wanting a quarterback. But yeah, so Deshaun Watson is no longer a Houston Texan officially. We knew this day was coming, but we also had no idea it would be the Browns. If y'all had been following this whole saga, you would basically we've all been on a roller coaster lately.
Right.
With people saying it's between the Falcons and the Saints.
He
It
could
was
have
the
gone to
Panthers at
Carolina.
first.
Yeah.
And everybody thought it was going to be Atlanta. Everybody
Yeah.
was reporting it was going to be Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta made the most sense to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He's from Atlanta.
he's from Atlanta.
He was a ball boy for the Atlanta Falcons and all this other shit. It was a feel good story. I thought it was gonna be a feel good story.
Yeah.
It all lined up. He did the slime thing with the YSL. He was cool with Young Thug. Migos was trying to recruit him. Like
Yeah.
everybody was talking to him. He could have got Jilly on YSL and collaborating with all these Atlanta artists, his girlfriend, who's trying to be a rapper now. But alas, he chose Cleveland, a team everybody, like the first team people heard he was out on
Yes.
is the team he's going to go to. He's posted a picture on Instagram, draped up in the Photoshop Cleveland jersey saying, "Let's go Dog Pound." LeBron James, of course, is a Browns fan again, and he's saying, "Let's fucking go," and all that shit. So, yeah, man. Look, y'all gonna hear a lot from the talking heads and all their thoughts on this trade. But you know, this trade happened like an hour after in the loop. So I want to get your take, Figgy. I want to get the first Figgy take of the whole Deshaun Watson to the Browns era, man. Number one, when did you find out, and what was your immediate reaction when you find out that he is now going from the team you cover to your hometown team?
Yeah. So I was in the barbershop, man. I was getting ready to get my hair cut. I'm scrolling on Twitter and I ran across a tweet from Adam Schefter. And it said the Browns are reaching an agreement with the Texans for Deshaun Watson, pretty much. I'm paraphrasing. And my first thought was, what the fuck? like, I had to double check, like, is this real? Is this the real account? And then I start seeing other people retweet that going crazy. And then I seen another tweet from him pretty much saying this, you know, it's official. He waiving this no trade clause. I'm like, what? I'm like, I was so speechless. I had to show my barber, and everybody else was in their speeches. Like, wait, how? Because they was the first ones reportedly, according to sources, that he was out. So which wasn't no surprise because I guess being closer around the situation, I heard a lot of people say that Deshaun didn't want to live in Cleveland, which is, you know, I'm not mad at that. It's Cleveland. I ain't trying to sound like Joakim Noah, but you know, you got a chance to live in Carolina, Atlanta, or New Orleans.
Right.
So I mean, unless you strictly want to win, I don't see why you would want to go to Cleveland. So, you know, no big deal. They was out of it. But everything leading up to this day just made it believe like it was Atlanta. They Carolina, they got out of it earlier today. And, you know, we just knew it was Atlanta. They were trying to clear space. They was trying to get rid of Matt Ryan. So I'm thinking like, all right, you know, it's over. You know, we might as well get the promos ready for Atlanta and all this other stuff. And then that just came out of nowhere because it'd be one thing if, you know, rumors start heating up again, like, oh, Cleveland back into it, or Cleveland, they trying to make another offer. But it just came out of nowhere, like, done deal, it's Cleveland. Like, what? And it's crazy because a lot of people was on, you know, saying how Atlanta, they can't mess this up. Like, it's no way in hell he gonna choose something else unless something crazy happen. Yeah. And they pretty much blew a 28-3 lead, man. Like it was done. It was a perfect story. He's from Atlanta. He worked for the Falcons as a ball boy. He was actually throwing to Matt Ryan at some point. And it's unbelievable, man. I can't believe it. The Browns finally got their franchise quarterback. I know it's not really popular to say because he's going through a lot of legal stuff. But man, it's insane. Unfortunately, I don't live there anymore, so I can't feel the energy. Or
that's what I'm saying. It sounds like you're more bummed of him leaving Texas than excited for him to be in your hometown.
I'm actually bummed out at what they got back in return. Yeah. So they got 3 first-round picks. They got like a third-round pick in the 5th. So I thought they was gonna get like a couple of players,
Yeah.
more draft picks, but it seemed like it didn't really cripple the Browns at all. And on top of that, they paid Deshaun way more.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
the Browns won it. I am relieved that it's all over in Houston because this shit been hanging over our heads for a year now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so now we can finally move forward. But me not being in Cleveland, living in Cleveland, it don't really hit me as much as it will a Clevelander, because here I'm covering the Houston Texans, and that's kind of what I've been focused on. But I'm actually happy for the city. I hope the Browns do well. And this is probably their first actual franchise quarterback. I don't think he gonna be sorry or nothing. But I'm happy for that. I'm happy for that. I'm a little disappointed in what the Texans got, but it was a lot going on. So I mean, it is what it is. I'm just glad it's kind of over.
Yeah.
Now I gotta ask you this, because the Texans host the Browns this upcoming NFL season. Deshaun Watson will be marching into NRG Stadium, public enemy number one.
Yeah.
He will be booed relentlessly, probably the entire game.
Not
You'll probably never hear NRG louder as it's going to be when Deshaun Watson comes back as the quarterback for the Browns.
Yeah.
What side are you on, Figgy? You got to answer. Are you going to be booing Deshaun Watson like a real Texans fan, or are you going to be choosing your hometown team and cheering for him and his success? And, I mean, they're probably going to win that game. Let's admit it. If Deshaun Watson's playing at that point, they'll probably win. But which side do you want, Figgy? You got to pick a side, man.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I got to cop out, man. I'm part of the media, so I'll be there with the Houston Texans and the Texas shirt. I'll be judging the tailgates and all that stuff, and I'm gonna just be in the press box, being professional about it, man. I won't be cheering for any team. I'm gonna be super professional.
Oh my god, such a politically correct.
Honestly, man, with me living in Houston for so long now, I kind of became a Texans fan first. Like I know they're not the best team, and there's a lot going on, but with me working here and covering the Texans, it make my life a lot easier when they win. Whenever they win, there's always a good week at work. Whenever they lose, it's just so negative, it's so down, and it kind of put me in a rough mood. So I will, to be honest, I think it's safe to say the Browns will probably get into the playoffs with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. The Houston Texans probably not going to make the playoffs. So I wouldn't be upset if the Texans beat the Browns with Deshaun Watson to kind of give them that Super Bowl, that regular season Super Bowl win, and everybody walk around proud. But yeah, so I would probably say I hope the Houston Texans just pull it off, just so they can be proud on that Monday morning or whatever they play.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a primetime game. You haven't released the schedule yet, of course. Yeah. But I'm sure it's going to be either Sunday night football, maybe Monday night football. It's definitely going to be a primetime game. And the Texans didn't have any last year, I don't think. So, there'll be something new. Now, Jules, you are a Carolina fan. The team that Deshaun Watson did not choose, even though y'all were apparently in the running pretty early on. Were you disappointed? And how do you feel about the whole Deshaun Watson saga in general, being a woman?
Of course I was disappointed all across the board, because when the story first hit, let's go all the way back to that. I'm always trying to look at the benefit of the doubt and guilty until proven innocent. But as that number kept rising, it's like, okay, Deshaun, as great as you are, we got to listen to the victims, and I have to support them. So the whole incident is crazy, because I've spoken with you guys about it before a little bit, but just why someone so talented with that much, to your name, I don't understand why you have to do that. But I mean, excuse me, my phone. But he, as talented as he is, come on, anybody with Carolina, because of course I was so happy when we picked up Cam again. But
That didn't end too good.
Ooh, it did not end too good at all, to the point to where he looked like a gimmick. So we just need some type of help. So yeah, for us to even get close to Deshaun, I was super excited, but damn it, Cleveland, I guess they just had the better chance. But we still got a chance, so we will see. But as Deshaun goes, I'm just all over the place.
Oh,
My
you
dog.
good.
But as I think Deshaun's gonna work out, and we still have our tools, and we still got some good. We're still in a good position as far as the draft goes. So I mean, as far as that goes, I think we'll be. I'm crossing my fingers that maybe we'll get back on track, because we are kind of in the same boat as Houston. At one point, that's how it sucked, because at the end, y'all were catching up to our record. I'm like, and I was causing mad shit at work, but I'm like, I can't even talk stuff anymore. But it's crazy just with everything that went down with him, for him to come off with nothing. It's just, what's the story? What's the real story behind it? That's the real question. It's just like, did he not? Was it exaggerated? I mean, what's y'all's thoughts on that? As far, because
that's a really good question, because I'll admit I've been completely confused at almost every step Deshaun has taken since last year when he first demanded the trade.
Mm-hmm.
We knew he was upset with the franchise. They just came off a 4-12 season. Things weren't looking good. J.J. Watt was soon get off the team. They, of course, they traded away DeAndre Hopkins for some scraps, fired Bill O'Brien. For him to just go through that one bad season and say, I want out, was confusing to me, especially when we heard all the quotes. We were at his, we saw his contract extension, and we saw the speech he gave talking about how much he loves this city and wants to deliver a Super Bowl to this city. We paid him a lot of money. Well, the team paid him a lot of money. For him to say he wants out, for the allegations to come, for him to go through an entire year, and then remember mid-season say he wants to play in Miami. A team at that point that was just as bad as the Texans.
I forgot about that. Yes. Yeah.
So when that happened, I'm like, okay, he just wants to live in a better city. And he just wants to, the team doesn't matter, because the Dolphins were terrible. They were like 1-7 at that point. And they ended up better. They still fired Brian Flores, but they actually had a better end of the season. But yeah, they were a terrible team. And he wanted to go there only, it seemed like. So it was like, okay, I get you now. You just want to live where it's popping. So I was like, okay, that's what Deshaun really wants. That's why I thought it was definitely going to be Atlanta. Yeah. And he was just making all this stuff, trying to bid them against each other so he can get the best contract out of it, or the best whatever he wanted out of all them. Right. But for him to choose Cleveland, now I'm just really confused. Because no offense, Figgy, who willingly moves to Cleveland when you've been in a city like Houston and you've been around this night, like you've been around this city? Like, look, people went to Cleveland to play with LeBron. Fair enough. In the NBA. But once he was gone, like, they were miserable.
Yeah, you go there to win. You're not going there because of the beach and all that shit.
Yeah.
So my conspiracy theory currently is this. Basically, I think when Cleveland pissed off Baker by even talking to Deshaun and meeting with him, they went into panic mode. They're like, okay, we have no quarterback now, and Baker's not going to play. So whatever Deshaun wants, we'll give it to him. And I think Mulugeta was trying to push the guaranteed money, and I think the Falcons were like, man, I don't know about that. You just quit on the team, and you want us to give you guaranteed money and all this shit.
Let me add this real quick. Not only that, but I don't think any other quarterback have a guaranteed contract like that.
Not that much. That's the most ever.
That's the most, So
5 years guaranteed.
That's crazy to anybody. I think if it was Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay would probably be like, wait, hold on. No, I don't know about that. So it was kind of insane.
What does Pat Mahomes have? I thought he was close to it. No? You don't have a guarantee?
Not that much guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got like a damn near a 10-year contract, though.
Right.
So I think Cleveland just got extremely desperate when they realized they don't have a quarterback now. and they got to sell some season tickets, and they done pissed off their fan base because they like Baker over there. Some of them do. Some of them realize the truth about him.
It's split down the middle.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, I think they just got really desperate and said, okay, whatever you want, guaranteed 5 years, 230, it's yours. Well, and this is the shiesty part about it, they know he's going to be suspended this year.
Yeah.
So they shifted it so his base salary is only $1 million in the next NFL season. So if he gets suspended like 6 games or so, that's only like $500,000-$600,000 of $230 million.
Yeah.
So they did that knowing that he's going to be suspended, and they said, "Fuck it, we'll do whatever it takes to get him to Cleveland."
Yeah. So for each game he's suspended, I think he's just losing like $50,000.
That's a fine, man. That's a fine for taunting, basically. So, yeah, man. I think that's my conspiracy theory. The Browns just got extremely desperate, and they went places that the Falcons wouldn't go in terms of the new contract.
Absolutely,
and that's how they got him. So,
and it's no way that he could turn that down.
Yeah, it's all about that at the end of the day. It's all about the moolah. So, yeah, he just had to go what suit fits. And the saying goes, why the same reason you left is going to be there when you get back. So he might have just wanted to try something new. I mean, it's home. The South is home. So maybe he just wanted to go somewhere where they barely know him and he can create a whole new identity. So, I mean, you just never know.
Yeah, I will say this, with Cleveland being a smaller city, he can become king, man.
Absolutely.
If he could get to a Super Bowl, they might be comparing him to LeBron in Cleveland, man.
Baker who? Baker what? They're gonna be like, who's that?
They're already saying Baker who now.
Right.
But if Deshaun can bring a Super Bowl to Cleveland or even get to one, man, LeBron might have to move over a little bit, man, because football is king there.
Yeah.
And and they look at LeBron as the man. Some of them do. But if Deshaun can bring that, he will be the man. He wouldn't be able to man, he could do anything he want in that city. They might make a damn massage.
Good for him.
He'll be able to do anything, man.
Here's your own personal masseuse right here.
Take your pick, whatever IG girl you want, man. It's yours.
Yeah.
Now, Figgy, I gotta ask you this though. Of course, you don't live in Cleveland, so you can't really check the temperature of what everybody's feeling. But I've been looking around on Twitter, man. It seems kind of mixed. I think the loudest voices are saying they're displeased with this, to say the least. Some people were Baker fans. They thought he was a guy who meant well. Like, I do think he had love for the city. Mm-hmm. I do think he was very well liked there. I think he enjoyed playing for the franchise. He fell off a cliff play-wise last year. Some of that was because of injury, but he regressed, definitely. But I do think he did have a lot of love for the city. I think the city had love for him as a person, maybe not so much as a player in the last season. But he had a decent fan base, and I've seen mixed reaction. I've seen a lot of people in replies saying, "Fuck it, get Baker out of here." We heard the radio hit Cleveland. They saying, "Bye, Baker." I also seen a lot of high-profile people say, "Nah, this ain't it." So from what I know, Twitter ain't real life. So what have you seen in like your circle of people? Like, what's the temperature from your fellow Cleveland folks and how they feel about this whole move, man?
So all the people that I know and the people that's in my timeline, pretty much, that I kind of know personally, they want a quarterback, man. They want a franchise quarterback. And we did have some people that said Baker, he was hurt. We got some Baker defenders saying he was hurt last year, give him another chance, and he a good guy and all this other stuff. But I think a lot of people turned on Baker because of his personality, man.
Right.
He got that personality where, if you winning, you the man. But if you losing and you still got that same attitude, then you're going to look like a piece of shit and people ain't going to want nothing to do with you. So
that's how my boy Cam too. Like, dude, you gotta
yeah,
prove yourself, man. You doing all this talk, prove
yeah,
it. And yeah, Baker's
yeah,
definitely that way for sure.
yeah.
He
And
tried to do OBJ. I'm sorry, but he tried to do OBJ like that. But so for him to go Odell to go to the Rams and take the Super Bowl, it's like, boy, Baker is not looking good.
yeah, and it's like, he was a good dude. I felt like he was a right fit in Cleveland, personality wise, kind of that underdog, and people don't really look at me like this, so I'm gonna prove them wrong type thing. But if you ain't winning, man, that shit look awful.
Yeah.
So I think Cleveland. I said this before. I had no idea. I didn't think they was gonna get Deshaun Watson, but I did think they had to look into trying to get him at least, because he was on the market, and you clearly needed some type of upgrade at quarterback. I just think it would have been a disservice if you didn't even look into it. To me, that would have been a bad mentality, but it worked out right. And I think Deshaun, if he, a lot of people feel like, oh, he got to get himself together type thing. If he get himself together, that he could be the man in Cleveland, man. He could really take over. And outside of Houston, man, I think he might be that good story. Kind of like that Michael Vick story if he, get himself together.
I don't think it's going to be that. I think, and even with Michael Vick, there are people that still hated him. But at least with Michael Vick was a true comeback story because he hit rock bottom. He went to prison.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, like, look, regardless of what you think, like we said, we don't know what happened. We don't know any of the details. We weren't there. So it's just their word, Nas, and whatever. I'm not going to get into all that. But basically, I think people would have felt better if there was some kind of punishment. Because everybody loves the comeback story. Everybody loves. I'm not saying he should have went to prison, but something had to happen where it's like, okay, I'm down. I done served my whatever punishment, and now I'm back with a new team. I'm going onward and upward. But there's not. I mean, honestly, if you take away the fact that his name has been drugged through the mud and called a rapist and all that stuff, this worked out better for him than he could have possibly imagined.
Yes.
Honestly, this whole thing is the best thing that's ever happened to any player. If you think about it.
He got more money.
He got more money. He got paid for a season he didn't play. Then he got a new contract for even more money.
And didn't even play.
Hadn't played. That reminds me of that line at the end of Cameron's freestyle on BET when he said $4 million from Sony. I ain't sell a record for him. That's Deshaun. $230 million. Ain't even throw a pass for him.
Yeah.
And he don't need to. Guaranteed money, man. And that's what's pissed people off. It's not just the fact that he's going to Cleveland. It's the fact that it worked out so perfectly for him that it's almost like the allegations helped him.
He got rewarded.
Yeah.
Right. He's been rewarded. Yeah.
So I think that's what's making people pissed off. If there was some kind of punishment, if he had to, sit out for years and then come, if there was some kind of punishment to where he lost something and then came back, I think people would be more on board with it. If he admitted some sort of wrongdoing too, maybe. But the fact is, and like I said, we don't know what happened. He could be innocent. But people are just mad at the fact that he got 22 women said something happened and then he got rewarded for it, basically. So, I think that's what people are really pissed off about. But I mean, that's life, man.
Yeah. How do you feel? How do you feel about what the Texans got for him? Because I thought they was going to get a couple players. I thought they was going to get about 3 first-round picks, 3 seconds, a couple third. I thought it was going to be a lot to the point it would cripple a franchise. But the Browns not really crippled at all. If they had to sit out the draft for a couple years, but it ain't going to do nothing for them.
Yeah, not getting any players is crazy. I'm not going to say I wanted Baker on the Texans, but I wanted the option to at least flip him for more picks.
Right.
Like we could have got something here, man. Like they have to deal Baker now.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we have gotten him and then given him to wherever he wants to go and got some more picks on top of that? Like, why was this even discussed? Was it even possible? Or did Mulugeta just strong arm him and say, hey, we're only going to cut the no trade clause for Cleveland. So either you trade us or we're going to sit another year. I don't know, man. But yeah, you would think that there would be a conversation to get more than that. But it is what it is, man. Like, honestly, I can't say I can say I'm disappointed, but I also understand why it had to be that, because he has a no trade clause and ultimately he had the leverage here, Deshaun Watson in his camp. So I understand. At least we got 3 first-round picks. Everybody said that was the bare minimum, and we got that.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that, but I understand why they couldn't get more. But I was hoping we get more for a player of his stature who is as young as he is. But
I think a lot of people on social media, we kind of set this high standard of, hey, who got more leverage? Like, no, Nick Caserio got the leverage because he ain't got to do nothing. And at the end of it all, man, that no trade clause ain't no hoe, man.
Yeah.
Because the Browns, that wasn't the best offer out of all the 4 teams. The best offer probably would have came from Carolina. And if he would have got traded to Carolina, they would have had the 6th overall pick, probably some other picks, and some a couple good players.
That's why I said, because I thought it was in the bag. I really did think it was in the bag at first. I did.
So it showed you that, if you don't want to go there, a trade is not happening there.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate for the Texans, but I think the good thing is, for Texans fans, it's over. I know people was tired of hearing about Deshaun. They was tired all the drama and stuff. I thought
you meant the career is over. The team is still over in itself.
Oh no, the Deshaun Watson situation is over. You ain't got to hear about like all the case stuff is all on Cleveland now. So I guess Cleveland gonna have to cover all of that shit now. So
one thing I definitely will miss is the progressive commercials, Baker's commercials.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hell. Yeah. But I mean, Deshaun did this thing on HEB, so maybe he can come better with it. But
I don't know if anybody want to take a chance on them getting some commercials now.
Yeah.
Right.
You might have to sit this one out for a year at least.
Yeah, he ain't getting no endorsements. Maybe that's why he wanted so much money, because he knew he wasn't going to get a whole lot of endorsements. They got to have a whole PR rollout for this to even announce this, because this is Women's History Month, and a lot of women in the media are upset about this. So they can't just announce it like, hey, we got this great guy, the new face of our franchise, put his face all on the season tickets and all on the billboards. They really can't do that with what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be difficult, but people forget, man. People got short attention spans. Everybody forgot about that Ben Roethlisberger shit after a couple years. So
he had a farewell tour. Yeah, he had a farewell tour at the end of the last season.
Yeah.
Man. I'm like, damn, shit, it was crazy how they was, treating him.
Nobody mentioned, except on Twitter, people was making jokes about it, but nobody in the media was saying, hey, convicted. Well, not convicted, but alleged abuser.
Yeah.
Now, I know I missed this, but is it over for Antonio for y'all too?
Antonio Brown?
Antonio Brown?
Yes.
I don't see him playing again. Unless the Browns needed a receiver or something and he could play for the bare minimum.
So after that shit, you think he still is capable of it's not over for him?
I think he can play, but it's all about what team want to deal with that shit. Like, do you want to bring that in and deal with all the bullshit he be bringing to the table? If you're a team that can handle that, sure. But if you can't play with Tom Brady, I don't know who you could play with at this point. Maybe Pat Mahomes, but I just don't see it, man. I think he kind of shot himself in the foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tom Brady was his shot at a redemption story. And Tom Brady is the only quarterback with the clout to say, hey, I don't care how you feel about this player, bring him in because I said so. Nobody else in the league got that kind of power, man. Pat Mahomes can't say that. Andy Reid will be
Right.
like, man, fuck you. You ain't bringing that dude in. You got $500
Yeah.
million, bro.
Like, motherfucker, you 25 years old. Don't tell
Right.
me what to do.
Aaron Rodgers ain't got that clout. Like, fuck it. He
No.
just fought for all this money. Like, man, sit your ass. That was his whole beef. He was
Yeah.
like, I'm not involved enough in the personnel. Like, motherfucker, they let you're the quarterback. They're like, throw the ball, man. We make the decisions here.
Make plays. Yeah.
Only Tom Brady had that kind of power, and Antonio Brown fucked it up for that.
Yeah.
So, I think he's done in the league, man. I
do
don't see
too.
any team that takes a chance on him at this point.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Colin Kaepernick thing, but for different reasons. He can play, but you don't want to deal with what comes with that. So,
right.
Yeah, it's a lot of other players that's not playing because of the bullshit they bring. Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas was a good safety, and this dude, he got cut from Baltimore and never played again. And it's unfortunate. It's not because of his skill. It's because of how he is as a person. And don't nobody want to deal with that. So if teams don't want to deal with you, they ain't about to bring you on.
I keep bringing up other stuff, but the Ridley situation, was that too much? The whole season?
I think so, but I also understand. I think the owners put pressure on the league to do that because they were already apparently nervous about the NFL getting in bed with the gambling leagues. Gambling is going to be pretty much legal everywhere pretty soon. Yeah. Everybody's getting into it. And the NFL did. I think the owners were scared that something like this could happen where players are betting on games. So I think they had to make an example out of him.
Yeah,
but I think it's definitely excessive, man. It was like $1,500. He did it legally, technically. I mean, it was illegal for him since he's a player. Right. But legally in a state that allows it, it was not nearly as bad as a whole season suspension.
Yeah, they just
for first time offense too.
They just want to make an example out of it. They want to throw the hammer down on him and send a message to any other player who is doing that to fucking stop, or you gonna get suspended too.
Yeah.
That was a business decision.
Yeah, it had to be, and it's unfortunate because, man, fuck it. It was $1,500, and he bet on his team to win.
Right.
To win. Whatever. Right. It was strange, but I understand why it happened, but I thought it was excessive.
Yeah.
Speaking of excessive, we're going to move into general topics now, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you think enough of the ESPN Sports Center? We're going to get into rap and other bullshit. But speaking of excessive, Jules, how did you feel about the sentencing of Jussie Smollett? Did you think that was excessive? He got about 5 months in prison. Now, disclaimer, he's released now.
Right.
They released him while he appeals his decision. But did you think that thing was excessive? How do you feel about that whole Jussie thing in the first place?
I mean, yes, it was a raw deal, but I definitely think it was excessive because he's already served his time enough, I do believe. And I think he's nervous about even getting that long, that he won't even make it that long, because that's why, and they're trying to claim that he's suicidal, and that's why he made that comment that he is not, if anything happens to him, he's not suicidal, because, I don't want to turn this into a black thing, but I just do think, hit the button. Yes, I just think that was a bit much. He already did his time, so how much of an example do you have to...
Wait, no, he didn't do his time. He didn't...
Well, then you say, well, he's doing 5 months, or he did 5 months.
No, he's going to do... He was sentenced 5 months. I think he was in there for like 5 days, and then he got released.
But he didn't do some before? When it first started? Okay, he never did. Well, I do believe he should get something, but 5... I think he pretty much lost his career over it, and that's probably like worse than everything else. Maybe a slap on the wrist a little bit, but 5 months, I just don't think he would last that long. So that's a bit excessive to me.
Why wouldn't he last that long? I mean,
because
he's gay
with
in
the
prison.
whole, you just with the whole homophobic, like
in prison.
Yes.
He was homophobic in prison. Jules, do you know what prison is? It's nothing but men there who have sex with each other. I'm not saying all of them gay, but
Because I mean,
I
because
think you would be okay.
I never been there for sure, but it's all on whose card to pull. If they pull his card and he don't
Yeah, fair
last,
enough.
he will easily become just easy to anybody, and he might can't handle that. So I think just knowing just I don't know his personality. I just think it's just a too much. Like it's too much. Clearly, he's going through some other stuff, and I just think that's a bit too much for him. He already just lost everything, and I think that's a punishment in itself. So to throw that much of jail time on him, I just think it's a bit much. That's me, but I could be wrong. What do you think?
Okay. No, fair. I pretty much agree. We talked about this last week, but yeah, I thought it was excessive too. We thought it was excessive. You know, I think he should have admitted he lied. That's the biggest thing. He should have admitted that, you know, he lied and he could have blamed it on mental health like everybody does now. And so I was going through some things with my career and I was desperate. Please forgive me. I think he definitely wouldn't have got 5 months if he just admitted it. But the fact that he's still defiant and saying, no, this actually did happen, guys. I don't care what the evidence says. It was definitely a racist attack that happened in sub-zero temperatures where white people recognize me as the Negro from Empire and put bleach on me and put a noose around my neck.
But clearly, there's something not there. If you still going with this story, he is not all the way there. So why throw jail time on him? That's too much.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost got headline porn because I seen a headline saying Taraji P. Henson compares Jussie Smollett situation to Emmett Till.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, someone told me to just check the article out, what she said. But what she said kind of makes she pretty much was saying it wasn't fair that the lady who was responsible for Emmett Till's death got nothing.
She got nothing, right?
And he pretty much lied and he got 5 months. So I took it back after a while, but it's always tough putting that. I Jussie Smollett and Emmett Till in the same sentence. Don't really do it for me.
Yeah. No, I had the same reaction, but when I read it, I got what she was going for, but it was
you
a tough.
Put those two in the same sentence,
man. You can't.
Yeah, it was a little rough.
Yeah.
So what else? Oh yeah, let's get your thoughts on some other things that happened earlier this year. What did you think about the Super Bowl halftime show, Jules? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was good?
I did enjoy it, especially when 50 popped up on the play because I was a 50 fan, as he was one of my top 5 artists when we went back and did top 5 hip hop artists. 50 is one of mine, so to see him come back, it was cool. Everyone made a big deal about it because of your guy, Rockett. Do you think?
Wait, who was my guy?
Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, okay.
Do you think he's making it too ethnic or too urban, the halftime performances? That's what, because even I had some coworkers that were saying it's, and I can't believe he came out with it, but it's too black. Like the past few years, it's been, black performances. So do you think Jay-Z is trying to turn it into that, maybe to get back with the Kaepernick thing? Or like, do you think, are y'all okay with the halftime performances? I liked it, but the past few years, it hasn't been
too
wrong.
Black for you, huh?
Yeah, too black, not for me, but for other folks, it's becoming too black. Because I'm sure they turn off the channel. Well, this year, it was extremely black, because with Janae Aiko to sing America the Beautiful, and Jasmine Sullivan did. Yeah, Mary. So it's like, it's getting real black. So I don't know. Do you think that's the direction he's trying to go in? Or because I thought they even talked about possibly taking the title away from him, of being in charge of that, because that's what it's turning into. So I don't see it that way, but
really, I haven't seen none of that.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah, I've been seeing none of the good reviews on. I mean, you got a couple people
Jules be on Bret Bart and reading Fox News. I don't know. I don't know where you get your news.
I go in between. So yeah, I hear both views. And
you
yeah,
out in the country too.
Mhm.
but that's what it, but I loved it because I mean, are we not entertained? You're supposed to be entertained. It's the halftime performance, and I thought they did a good job. So I had no problems with it, but I don't know. Jay-Z, maybe he is trying to put a little bit of because it's been rock for so long, maybe he is trying to turn it into make it more urban a little bit, which I have no problem with because NFL in itself, as we already talked about with fairness with the Aaron Rodgers and the Calvin Ridley situation, it needs to be more diverse. So maybe he is trying to aim in that direction. Still don't care for Jay-Z this day and age, but maybe he is. So we'll see. I don't know. Did y'all enjoy it?
Yeah, we liked it. We liked it. I
Yeah,
mean, it's obvious that he was brought in to update the sound of these
Yeah.
performances because, like, it had gotten stale. Think about who
yeah.
was doing it before, like Maroon 5.
Right.
Like, some of these people were just, when he got in, he spiced it up with the Shakira and J-Lo.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
spiced it up
It's
with the
like
Urban.
Weeknd.
yeah, it was like a Latin night with the Shakira and J-Lo. Yeah.
But they
It-
were in Miami. They had to do it. They were in Miami. It was only right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think if he wasn't in charge of that, I felt like the NFL would have just got some random ass journey or something to,
Yeah.
do the halftime show. But it seemed like he kind of piecing together, trying to fit the right people with the right cities and the
Right.
right vibe and stuff. I mean, I don't know what he could. Yeah, as far as the weekend, I don't know who because where was the Super Bowl at the end?
Tampa Bay, and that was the best part of the Super Bowl for me
Tampa
because
Bay.
that game
Okay.
was trash. Yeah, but I thought I'm a Weekend fan, so I thought he did a good job. But yeah, just like that, because with all that stuff going on as far as NFL with their it could be racist or whatever, I think he added that diversity a little bit that it needed. But to continue it on. Maybe he should throw some. They're saying maybe he could throw some country in there. I don't know.
Is that what you want to see, Jules?
I don't do country. But what I miss back in the day is how they used to mix the rap with the rock. I will say that.
I hated that.
You did.
Yeah, Kid Rock and Janet, like,
I didn't like that.
with random people.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers
with Big Boy or something.
Yeah, the Nelly and Britney Spears and NSYNC. Are we away from that time?
Yes, hopefully. Like, no, that was a whack era, Jules. I'm sorry. It was. That was like when MTV was doing it, and they just put all the artists from TRL in the halftime show. And I think that was actually what happened in the Janet and Justin Timberlake thing.
That's true.
Like, that was one of those ones with a bunch of people. I think Missy was in there too or something. It was a bunch of people doing that show, but that was terrible. It should be one person.
But that's the thing. Like, this world is trying to keep it so segregated, and with that, I think it kind of puts the peace.
Yeah, that brings us together. Nothing like Brad Paisley and Young Thug.
Travis Scott and Chris Stapleton. Yeah,
Travis Scott can't be performing nowhere right now.
Right.
Yeah, Jules trying to be Martin Luther Jules.
You know, really, I'm all about equality, and I think
I don't. We can't put you in control of booking the halftime show. I'm sorry.
So y'all don't think that it's blacked up for real? Like, for real?
No, it is. But look, number one,
it's much needed. It was much needed for this.
For this one, they're in Compton. I mean, they're in LA. They're in the Bay. So yeah, they did it right. But yeah, I think. Well, I like the fact that, like you said, Figgy, it seemed like they're doing it based on where they're at and the culture of it all, like how they did with the Shakira thing. I do like that aspect of it, but I do like to fit everybody in, so everybody is in the seats jamming, which I think the Weeknd did. Because who don't like the Weeknd? Y'all don't like the Weeknd?
Actually, I would say the opposite.
Really?
I think everybody was jamming a lot more to this halftime show than the Weeknd.
Yeah.
The Weeknd is one of those artists, even though he's big, like you don't know a lot of his songs by heart. You can't sing along to a lot of this stuff. You might know the hook to earned it, but you people don't know like the words to his songs to really feel it like that. But when Dr. Dre and Snoop and Eminem and 50 Cent with these songs that went quadruple platinum, like everybody knows "Lose Yourself."
Yeah. Because that went to all ages. That's all ages. The Weeknd is really just the millennials.
Yeah.
But this was all ages. And then to throw some Mary up in there for her to do No More Drama, that brought the women in. So it was. I enjoyed it for sure. I don't know about Eminem, but I enjoyed it. They're saying
okay. I thought you were all about bringing the races together, huh? What do you have against a white rapper, Jules?
They're saying that Eminem's a clone. That's not the real Eminem because it doesn't look like him anymore.
Wait, what? Now we're back on the clone theory. I thought we dropped that shit with Gucci Mane. We back on the clones again?
That is a clone.
Now this ain't the same Eminem. This is a clean Eminem.
So sell me on the clone theory. What makes this current Eminem a clone?
His energy. He does like sound like him. He doesn't look like him with the whole. What is his hair? Red now? Like
his hair is black. He dyed his hair in the beginning of his career. He's not really blonde, right?
Yes, but it's just
his hair looks different. He stopped dyeing it blonde. I don't mean he's a clone, Jules.
I don't know, but as you get older, you still keep the same. I guess you just get older because Snoop is still Snoop out there, crap walking, whatever. Dre is still Dre, but Eminem is like, who is that? It just don't even sound the same. That's not Eminem. That's
50 Cent 50 Cent looks way more bloated and older. Dre looks like I don't even know. Like he's cycling on and off of HGH and steroids, so his body look weird. And Snoop is just old, like he's always been old. But
he's old.
I have not heard the Eminem clone theory. That's new to me. I don't know.
He could barely keep up. I'm like, who is this dude? Oh, did y'all think Kendrick fit?
I liked having him there. I thought he should have had more. But I liked having him in there. I thought it was a good addition, something newer. I thought he did a good job. Plus he's so rare that it was even to see him performing after it's been 5 years since I think we were all doing a podcast together the last time Kendrick dropped the album. Think about that.
Yeah,
we reviewed it. Probably episode number 32.
Yeah.
We had episode 200 now. Still no new Kendrick album.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy when you think about it like that.
Yeah, and I don't know why, because it's like, why is Kendrick? I guess he was trying to push, because I did like Baby King when he first came out. Maybe he was trying to put his focus more so on him, but I don't know why it's taking Kendrick so long to just drop. I don't know, but his energy was definitely it was deserved. I think it went for sure. No, but the question is, who else? Like, we're running out of people for halftime, are we not? Who else can fit? Rihanna?
See the thing is, I think she would. Yeah,
she is not gonna do it.
I don't know, man. Because
no,
Rihanna kind of woke, so I can see her decline because I heard she declined it before, right?
She declined it, but I think that was before they got Jay-Z involved. Yeah. With Jay-Z being involved, I'm definitely sure she would do it.
I don't. Who else? I mean, they were running out of people. So for him to create that, I thought it was good.
Yeah, but see, I think with Jay-Z, I don't think Jay-Z. I don't even know if he'd be allowed to even have a hip hop halftime show every Super Bowl. So I think he had to spread it out. So like, I don't know where they're gonna have the Super Bowl next, but if it was like if it was in Cleveland or something, they would probably have like a rock and roll thing because that's like the city of rock or something. It had to spread it out like that. I don't think he could do a hip hop halftime show every Super Bowl. So it'd probably be something totally left field next year.
And I bet he gonna have Cuddy in that thing if it is in Cleveland. So Cuddy can do what's the Pursuit of Happiness? He could do that. He can do a little bit. No.
Yeah.
That they probably would never have a Super Bowl in Cleveland, to be honest. So.
Yeah, they're not. Come on,
yeah,
now.
they're not.
They can have the All-Star game in Cleveland.
Y'all know how cold it is in fucking Cleveland in February. So and they don't have a roof. So I don't. Yeah, so that never happened.
Yeah, that would be rough. I don't think, and there's really only certain cities that'll have the Super Bowl anyway. So you got to be a major city to even host that bullshit. But so what else you got going on? What have you been bumping lately? What are your favorite albums of the? I don't want to say year because the year is very, very.
What was
new
your
and
favorite
fresh
album
still.
last year?
Yeah, that works.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest, man. Represent Memphis. I'm Key Glock all day. Paper Route Empire. So rest in peace, Dolph. Man, that took me.
Oh
yeah, because I am true Tennessee, and so I've just been on the Paper Route wave. I like Kenny Money and the underground stuff. So that's mostly what I've been on, and I like 42 Doug. So and he's okay.
Man, we reviewed that album. We did not like that album.
Now the album, no, but I like his see, that's the thing about me is I'm kind of leaning back into the mixtape world. So, or I don't even know what they call them now because they are a mixtape, they're an EP. I don't know what they consider them now, but the underground stuff, I'm really just trying to see who's up and coming. But for the most part, Paper Route, and I would say, yeah, that's probably my biggest things right there. So, but I know y'all probably on the Drake wave as always.
Drake, come on! Jules think because she listens to some underground artists that everybody else is just some mainstream idiots. We low key trashed that Drake album, honestly. But I mean, of course, there was the Tyler the Creator album last year that we all thought highly of.
Yes.
I like Donda personally. I know it wasn't everybody's cup of tea. I like Donda.
That was my next question because that's when the whole Drake or Donda won for me. It definitely did, and no, Donda won. I still, and it's been like this probably since More Life. I have not completed Drake's album. His last 3 albums I did not complete. I don't know why. It's just Drake is the same. Drake is. You hear one, you hear another. It's Drake, but I want some, like versatility, and Kanye will definitely give you that. Like
the versatility that 42 Doug and Key Glock give you. Okay.
No, okay. See, that's my theory. Because Key Glock, he definitely is redundant. He gonna say the same shit, but flow, he gonna switch it up every now and then. So that's what
matters. Drake be switching up the flow too. Stop it. You're making excuses just because you don't want to see mainstream and like the popular artists. So you're like, no.
If you want to talk about mainstream, I will definitely give it to Tyler for sure last year because I forgot about that one. But no, like Drake is you hear one Drake, you hear them all. I mean, Too Sexy was good, but
that was a pretty good song.
That's it. What about Thug though? Do y'all listen to Thug? Are
did
y'all?
You? I have a feeling that you like that Punk album. Did you?
It was hit or. No. That my favorite was what is it? More Fun, Have Fun.
More Fun,
yeah. That was a good one.
That was a really good album.
Really good album. J. Cole helped him with that one too, right? I think J. Cole had something to do with that. But More Fun was my last one from Thug that I really enjoyed. Punk was like, and what are you doing with this? I don't know what these guys are doing anymore when I just don't get the message behind what they trying to do. But he had a few, but no, I wasn't a huge fan.
How did you feel about you brought up J. Cole? How did you feel about the last J. Cole album?
J. Cole's
He's
the same.
affiliated with Jay-Z, so I don't like him. He's on Rock Nation. I don't like anybody on Rock Nation.
What? And yes to that. I'm mad that Megan done went over there. She done signed her soul to the devil.
Well,
So,
what?
yes, she has. Megan, they did her so wrong at the Grammys. Like, did you see that when it was like she won the award for her and Beyonce just took over? They was like, oh, stop the press. This is Beyonce's 100th Grammy or whatever they was congratulating. She just took the total shine from Megan Thee Stallion.
Do you think that song would have won a Grammy if Beyonce wasn't
Hell
on it?
no.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
No. But that's what I'm saying. She sold her soul to the devil. I thought she was doing good as Tina Snow. Now it's over.
She is much bigger than she was before she signed to Rock Nation. Let's be honest about that. The music is, you can say, is subjective, but her career, her brand is exponentially grown since she's been on Rock Nation. She got her own Popeyes meal. She got all these fashion collabs. She's everywhere now.
The hottie sauce is here.
Of course, because that's PR. It's all public relations. They're putting her, they're promoting her, they're getting her out there, they're getting her name out there, especially after that whole Tory Lane stuff. But what are you really doing for that? I mean, are you really authentic? Is she authentic, or is she just going with what sells right now? Going with what sells. What's gonna get your name out there? Period. That's what it is.
When you're a mainstream artist, that's what you do. Yes.
She's gonna eventually lose that Texas feel. I think she's gonna lose. She's gonna lose the authenticity of it all. Which is what Rock Nation does. So,
well, what?
You lose your soul.
How? Who? Okay, wait. No, because you be saying stuff, Jules. You got to back some of this stuff up with that.
I am telling you.
Who signs on the Rock Nation and loses their soul? You got J. Cole, you got Rihanna, you got Megan Thee Stallion, you got some other people I can't even think of on Rock Nation. Who has sold their soul after they joined Rock Nation?
Wait a minute. You said J. Cole. Who else?
J. Cole, Megan Thee Stallion, Rihanna. Who else on Rock Nation? I gotta look up Rock Nation artists.
Rihanna, like, she stopped dealing with them for a minute. She moved from Rock Nation because he was focused more so on Beyonce than Rihanna, and that's when she came out with the Needed Me album, the one with the red and the crown. That's when she started doing all that stuff. She had her own like producers and stuff. She was still under Rock Nation, but she had, as far as the creative director aspect, she had her own team. But Beyonce, she goes where the wind blows. Whatever sells, that's what she's doing, because it's about the money. And it is, because how you gonna say, and I always say this, like, you gonna talk about we need women's empowerment, who run the world, girls, and then on your next album you talking about bow down bitches, and then the other album you want people to feel for you because you've been cheated on with Lemonade. It's like, what do you want us to do? I mean, you just going whatever what sells. Tell the story what sells.
I mean, she did get cheated on. She can't make an album about it.
No.
Like, she can't talk about it. She can't go through its real life things on her albums.
Did it actually happen? Happen?
You think that was cap? Yeah. You think they made up? You think Jay-Z filmed himself getting beat by Solange in the elevator for press? You think that whole thing was scripted?
That was real life right there. Now that was real life. But I feel like she's just, the album is on whatever sells, and I feel like that's what Rock Nation is. Dream, I feel, lost his touch when he started being an A&R for Rock Nation. Of course, Kanye, and who else? J. Cole.
Of course, Kanye.
Yeah.
So Alicia Keys is on Rock Nation. Big Sean. I ain't know Bobby Smurda was on Rock Nation.
Yeah, me neither. Benny the Butcher.
Yeah, Benny the Butcher. Christina Aguilera, I ain't know that either.
And
Khaled, Fat Joe, ASAP Ferg, Fab.
All of them are still authentic. So you're saying Big Sean is still Detroit under Rock Nation? He still give you that Detroit flair? No. When the last time you heard from him? No.
I mean, he's taken a while to make his new album. I've never been a Big Sean fan, but all these artists have gotten bigger. since they signed with Rock Nation. You can't
Because you're
deny that.
promoting. Yes, of course your
So
name's gonna
is
be
that, are
out.
they supposed to stay local forever?
Well, that's
Like
the thing.
what is the alternative here?
Well, that's the thing. See, that's the thing with this industry, man. You either stay authentic and stay your true self, or go
And not sell any records and not make any
and not
money.
or you
Yeah.
get
But at least he got the love of the underground.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair
That's
enough,
what
I guess.
Is the currencies of the world. As long as you got that, and the Freddie Gibbs of the world.
See, you like the underground people. When they get mainstream, that's when you fall
You don't
off.
like
That's
them
when
no
you
more.
start-
Oh, they changed. Okay.
And y'all know I'm like that with 21 now. Y'all know I was going up for 21.
Oh, you done
What
with
is 20? Wait a minute. 21 Savage is
21
a
is
much
on
better
fire
rapper.
now. Yeah, he is way
Oh
better than
my-
he was before.
He's grown. He's definitely grown, but it's still it's
When
not
you
that
when you were
No, you don't,
when
you don't
you
like people to grow.
when you were boosting 21 Savage, he was still whispering on every song.
Yeah,
Back
what
in
did
Nation.
he play? That
Come on, man. He's actually rapping now.
Yeah.
And you
Nigga-
think he lost his soul?
Nigga drinking water, nigga drinking alkaline water now. And shit.
Yeah, man, skinny jeans and Playboy Cardi is so far gone. I can't even
Hey,
explain
see,
that.
I
Man.
thought you would like current Playboy Cardi.
Current Playboy
Yeah.
Cardi? Oh no.
He's a rock star now.
Bad.
I actually never talked about it in the podcast. I went back and listened to A Whole Lot of Red. I actually like that album now. I like Whole Lot of Red. Yeah, I see what he was going for, man. Like I just wasn't.
Shocking, man.
I've gone back because I listened to it because what changed my mind. I saw him perform the album like in one of those New York clips. I forget what festival it was, but I saw him perform some of the songs, and it sounded amazing live, man. It sounded like some real rock star shit. Like I didn't really appreciate it at first when I was expecting the rap Cardi, but when I heard his live performance, I think it was Stop Breathing. He came out and played that song. And I'm like, that song sounds crazy live.
I'm gonna have to go back and check that out. Cause I mean he has a few like Sky and it's a live.
I Love You, I Hate You is a good song.
He got a few, but oh no, I can barely understand what he's saying. Now I understand he was going through some stuff with his brother. You know, his brother was murdered and everything. But Figgy, did you like that album? Whole Lot of Red?
I actually thought it was okay. I can't remember what I gave it when we reviewed it, but I thought it was okay. But I think Rockett was disappointed, if I'm not mistaken.
But now I look. I think I jumped the gun on my critique because I think a lot of Cardi's music is like that, man. I think he pushes boundaries and it sounds bad because you're used to him sounding a certain way. But you go back. I remember when everybody was making fun of Die Lit when he dropped that album. Everybody was like, man, what the fuck is this bullshit? And a few months later, everybody was saying, oh, it's a classic album.
That's a classic.
So the same thing happened with Whole Lot of Red. Everybody went back to it and realized like it was actually pretty good, man. So now I changed my opinion on that. But
it might be that high pitched voice that he's doing.
Yeah, it's a different delivery.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to be more like a rock star type dude and not just a rapper. So he's just like screaming his lyrics now. But yeah, what up, Tab? Episode 200. Day one supporter Tab in the comments. I see you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Been here since day one with us celebrating episode 200. We appreciate you, man, for everything you've done for us, man. So everybody who's been rocking with us since day one of the podcast, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And Tab has definitely been there since the get-go. So much love to Tab, man.
He gave us our first shout out on the radio.
He did.
Yeah.
But back to Rock Nation. Yes, Rockett, they have your soul. So I mean, for you,
what does that mean? They have your soul.
You lose your authenticity. You just, it's all about the money. Is there no way that you can still be yourself and your creativity and still get the money?
So it seems like your issue is that they're signing with a major label or a major publishing company.
That's trying to change you to get the message across.
I don't think they try to change anybody. I think they try to market what they are.
Right, but you true hip hop. Hip hop was in authenticity. So that's what it is now. It's like still getting the message across, being yourself, and fuck how much publicity you get. You just, the money.
But see,
But they weren't even paid. They were rarely even paid back then.
You gotta look at Rock Nation like this. Rock Nation, they got all the connects. They got pretty much a chokehold on the Grammys.
Yeah, they are the Grammys.
They can hook you up with any night show. So if you get signed to Rock Nation, most likely you'll be performing on every night show. You'll probably be nominated for whatever Grammy, depending on what you put out. And they just got so many connections. It's Jay-Z, so that's a big deal. So if this podcast gets signed to Rock Nation,
I'm not a part of it.
Okay. So, we have record you saying that because you named the podcast. So if you saying that you don't want anything to do with it, okay, we got the naming right.
And then I'll be on the outside. Let me in. But that's a nice segue going into the whole Diddy thing. Like, how far do you have to go to make it? Because even with Diddy, whoever was under Diddy, I'm sure you had to do some things to get your record out. Or
what are you insinuating here? What are you implying?
Allegedly, I don't know.
Allegedly, no, you can't just make claims at legends like that. You got to
like, who's that one artist who had them few hits? The woman who came out just saying all this stuff about Diddy. I know y'all know.
I forgot her name, but we actually talked about this briefly.
Yeah, I forgot her. She had a few hits.
Yeah, she actually shared the story about Christopher Williams. I want to say.
Oh yeah. I remember that story.
I believe that. I slightly believe all that stuff, and I feel like Rock Nation might have not as vulgar, but you just got to give a piece of your soul in order just to get
What does that mean, your soul? Like, I feel like you don't want to come out and say it because you don't want to sound like a crazy person, but I feel like you're one of those people who thinks that Tab said walk to Harlem and get Diddy some cheesecake. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like you believe that there's some occult witchcraft type things going on. And I think
we still talking about the Illuminati.
Yes. You think that they gotta do some kind of ritualistic sacrifice in order to get on Rock Nation and get all the endorsements they get. They have to do some kind of satanic ritual. I said it. I knew you wanted to say it. I said it for you. I've heard this theory before.
I'm trying to feed my family, so I gotta feed my family. So heck yeah, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I gotta do what I gotta do. It meaning change your sound, all that. I'm all about the sound, and props to y'all for representing these local artists who's trying to get their sound out, because that's what it's about, not losing yourself. But I feel once you sign on that dotted line, a piece of you just dies. In Rock Nation. That's what I feel. And
you become way bigger and more successful and famous. But I'm sure. I'm sure it's bad.
Remember back in the day, people used to always complain about how Jay-Z is the devil worshiper, and when he say Hove, that's what this means.
Yeah, this is the Illuminati symbol, y'all. That's the Illuminati. The all-seeing eye. Yeah.
Rockett will come out with his stories later on why he go up for him so hard to this day. I mean, I could talk because I'm a Jay-Z. I was a Jay-Z fan, but you'll tell your story later on what rib you had to give Lim.
No, trust me. Look, if I would have sold out to Jay-Z, we've been trying to sell out to Jay-Z. Okay, let's be honest. We've been trying to get on Tidal. We've been trying to get in the Rock Nation brunch. We've been trying to sell out. Okay. We haven't gotten a chance to. So as soon as we get a chance, we definitely gonna sell a piece of ourselves. Not physically, but we gonna sign that dotted line and we gonna get all these commercial spots, and we gonna be bigger than Ebro and Peter Rosenberg.
We got to sacrifice somebody in our family or something.
Yeah.
Like, damn, Aunt Jenny had to go. Damn.
Who were y'all listening to last year? What was your favorite rap album, and who are y'all listening to now?
I mean, this year, what has come out? It's been kind of slow.
I really like that Currency album. I've been playing that nonstop as of late. Currency album produced by Alchemist.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, That was a really good album. I'm still listening to Gunna album a little bit, but it kind of died down.
Yeah.
I was definitely hyped for the album because it came out the first week of the year.
Yeah.
But I only play a few songs off of that now.
Yeah. I can't think of. I already forgot what came out this year. Did anything big come out so far? Not really. I know we've been waiting for that Pusha T album, but this year I really can't think of anything else. My memory's bad though. Maybe I remember we reviewed a few things that I liked.
That's that age, man. We getting up there.
I know, right? Dementia setting in, I guess. But yeah.
I remember we were talking about that at my best friend's New Year's Eve party. We wanted to play the song of the year when it came down to it. What the hell was the song of the year last year? Did we have one?
Wait, because
everybody was saying it was Who Won't Smoke With Me? Who Won't Smoke With Me?
Yeah, probably that.
Yeah, you think so? Okay, I was like, what was the song of the year? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about street, I think we're past the age of a song of the year at this point.
Yeah.
Like music there's so much music being released, and
Yeah.
there's so many different pockets of hip hop. Like you had the biggest street hit, and Who Wants Smoke by Nardo Wick is definitely like the biggest street single.
Yeah.
But you talking about like mainstream, it had to be something by Drake or somebody of that nature. So yeah, I mean, I think we're definitely past the song of the year.
Yeah.
There's really no one song you hear everywhere like it used to be. So I don't know. I think it's interesting how we talk about it too. How old songs are overtaking new songs now, and old songs are getting played more and getting more Billboard charts than new ones that are being released. So interesting era, man.
What's an example? What old song came back?
No, just in general, there's been articles about it, about how basically, people's listening habits, they're basically listening to more old music now than ever.
Yeah.
When it used to be, the top mainstream hits would be the only things you see on the charts, getting the singles, all the sales, but now it's kind of reversed. So interesting stuff.
Yeah, I think and this is probably a perfect transition too. I want to ask Jules about this. But I think part of that have to do with the verses. I think just watching verses and going back to old songs and seeing how their streams skyrocket the next day, because it's like, damn, everybody's still on that high, so they listening to whoever was performing. But I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite verse? How you been feeling about these verses? And what was your favorite one so far? What's the ones that really stood out?
Well, hands down, the one that kicked it off, still one of the best, is Erykah Badu and Jill Scott. That was a whole vibe because I was a big fan of both of them. And the interesting part is, and I was definitely, I wanted to talk to y'all because that was definitely my input. In high school, I was Jill Scott, but versus, I had to go with Erykah Badu because she was just whipping out something. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. But the latest one, I like the I did like the Keisha Cole and Ashanti one. I don't know if y'all saw that one, but that one was good.
I did. I was a little disappointed in that one because of how it came down, because they're supposed to be on stage together.
Yes.
And Ashanti, they're catching COVID. And I feel like that kind of fucked the whole vibe up, because you could tell Keisha Cole actually wanted to be on stage and perform.
Yes.
And now she's sitting in a little seat in front of a camera.
Super late. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So that kind of fucked everything up. But how did you feel about the Gucci Mane versus Jeezy?
Oh my gosh, I thought I didn't like the way Gucci straight clown Jeezy to me, like on some real type street shit, like to wear hands. Like I think he disrespected him in a way. I didn't like that. And another one, I was trying to think of the rap ones, 2 Chainz and Rick Ross. That was a good one for me, but I didn't like how 2 Chainz was getting in his feelings about not doing a song with Jay-Z. Like it seemed like he kept bringing that up. Now I know I ain't got a song with Jay, but I think that changed the whole vibe of it all. Because at the end of the day, it's fun. So the Gucci and Jeezy, I think they got a little bit too personal. It was cool because you brought it back, but it got real deep to the point where I was like, "Ugh," it was some cringe moments for me. But another good, y'all probably won't agree with this, but another rap one I liked, Soulja Boy and Bow Wow.
I actually enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I did too.
I think that was cool. I think what people be missing about these verses is the actual performance.
Yes.
And you know, they was performing, they was entertaining.
Yeah.
It was funny. So I enjoyed that a lot more because to be honest, I didn't like the 2 Chainz and Rick Ross one at all. I felt like it was a little tension there. You could tell 2 Chainz was a little irritated.
Yeah.
And Rick Ross he act like he didn't even want to be there.
But you thought that one was more tense than the Gucci and Jeezy? I thought that one was tense.
No, that one was tense, but you could tell Ross didn't want to be there.
Huh.
I think he was a little irritated that he was doing the verses with 2 Chainz. I felt like he wished he could have been against Jay-Z or some shit.
Yeah.
Because he had like he ain't even been there, and then he mentioned like, "Oh yeah, I got way more hits than this." It's like he didn't want to be there, so I ain't really like the energy in that one.
He probably felt belittled because that's if you think about it, my gosh, Rick Ross got a huge catalog. Like you didn't realize he got a big catalog, so it kind
he got some big time features too. So yeah, but I actually like the Soulja Boy and Bow Wow one. I thought that was entertaining. That kind of took you back to the millennial days.
Dude,
so
the Gucci bandana, I forgot all about that song. Shit, I was like, okay, yeah, I forgot about that one. But yeah, that was straight. That was it reminisced. It brought it back. So
yeah.
I think at the top of the dome, it's been a lot, but those are the few that I can think of for sure.
What about 3 6 versus Bone?
That Memphis all day, I was 3-6 for sure. They should do an MJG, and maybe who? They can't do UGK, of course. Who could go with MJG?
Bun B probably. That's probably
Bun B solo. It gotta be well, even like let's be honest, they're not big enough to do a versus A-Ball MJG. Like they're not. Like they got underground classics.
Yeah.
But to do a versus, like who would they really go against?
Well, I didn't think 3-6 and Bone could. I'm like,
nah, Bone Thug had platinum albums. 3-6
had
huge hits.
Yeah,
you know, that made a lot. Like A-Ball MJG, like we know of them.
That's true.
But,
true.
Yeah, I think they're still kind of underground.
I think early on they could have definitely did it, but now they got that Triller back, and I think Triller want to see some stars. I don't think they want to. They don't want to bring 8 Ball to the table.
Yeah,
I think they want to see bigger stars. What can bring the crowd in? Because I don't know if everybody will be tuned in to this one.
Yeah, and that could be my problem where I'm getting up in age, because back in my day, it's like I want to hear the real hip hop to where when you sell your soul to Rock Nation, it's like, okay, you're sell out. Maybe that's all it is.
Here we go.
But no, that one was good. 3-6 and Bone was good. I really like the Snoop and DMX. Man, rest in peace. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But who would you go for, Rockett? Who was yours?
My favorite one was Method Man and Redman.
Yes,
that was really well done.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was true hip hop, like the essence of hip hop. Like it was just classic songs, classic verses, them going back and forth. Great dynamic. That's what the verses should be.
Yeah,
you know, they're competing but having fun at the same time, and just I don't know, they're two legends to me. So I enjoyed it a whole lot.
But I thought you would have liked the Dipset. What was it?
The Locks and Dipset. I liked it, but for like the wrong reasons. Because I was a Dipset fan.
Of course.
And I honestly didn't know that many songs from the Locks, but the Dipset got murdered. Like it was completely embarrassing to watch. And they ain't been the same since. Like I can't even play their music the same no more. It don't hit the same.
So why? So what did you like about it? You said you liked it for the wrong reasons.
Because one of my favorite groups got destroyed on stage. Like everybody looked like a clown up there.
You should have been
Jewels,
going up.
Jim Jones, Freaky Zeke, who was drunk as hell dancing. I don't know what he was doing. And Cameron, who would do a song and then disappear for 10 minutes.
Right, of course.
It was a mess. It was a mess. And yeah, it could have been much better. The Locks, like respect to Jadakiss and all them, they was rehearsing. Like they came prepared and they killed it. But yeah, the Dipset didn't even try. It was like watching a really bad boxing match where somebody just wails on somebody for 10 rounds and then it just ends.
And that's what it is. It's being prepared for it, because Gladys Knight, she took the bar. Like when she came out and started singing live, now everybody's trying to start doing that. And so the only old school I didn't really care for was Ozzy Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire. I
actually thought that one was okay.
No.
I thought that one was okay. You know what was really bad though? Shaka Khan and Stephanie Mills. That one was awful.
It was. I thought it should have been Stephanie Mills and Anita Baker.
Yeah, I don't think Anita Baker will do it because she's a whole different kind of diva.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shaka Khan. I'm a Shaka Khan fan. Like I'm a real Shaka Khan and Rufus fan.
Yeah,
but she was drunk. I don't know what she was on. But it was a mess. It was a mess. It was bad.
She was out of her mind. Clothes too tight. It was just. It was bad. I agree.
It was a mess. It was a mess. Where'd Figgy go? He disappeared on us.
I guess so. That's what I'm saying. He dropped out for a little bit.
Yeah, he might either be having technical difficulties or somebody came in the room or something. I don't know. But we're gonna keep it rolling. One thing I want to get back to you, of course, since we have the female guest again. I want to do some what a bro knows type things, man.
Okay.
I want to know what you feel about these certain relationship things going on. And I kind of want to start with the whole Kanye, Pete Davidson, Kim Kardashian thing. Now, what are your thoughts on that? And what are your thoughts on, I guess, the ex rules? Do you think it's romantic if an ex tries to get you back after y'all break up? And what line is too far? And how do you feel? Do you think Kanye has passed? Because I know you're a Kanye fan.
All day.
So what team are you on? Are you team Kim and Pete or are you team Kanye?
It's hard because Kim and I are both, we share the same birthday. We're both October 21st, Libras. So it kind of makes me nervous the way she moves, because for her to move so fast from Kanye, it's like, did you actually really love him like that? Did you actually really care for him?
Wait, define fast.
Like,
I feel like their marriage has probably been on the decline for a long time now.
It did. Okay, well then that brings up another question, and maybe that can go into what a bro knows the question. What is too soon to move on from a divorce? You feel as a male, as a bro?
I mean, if you're talking about a divorce, that's probably meant you've been separated for months already, maybe a year plus. Because a divorce takes a long time to process, usually.
Yes.
Especially if you have a lot of assets like they do, and you have more income and you decide how to split things. I don't think they even had those kind of issues, but, Kanye and Kim had been sliding down. We saw the tweets when he was talking about, I've been trying to get a divorce from Kim ever since I saw her with Meek talking about prison reform or whatever, quote unquote, prison reform, insinuating that she was cheating on him or whatever. But that was years ago.
Yeah.
So I think when you're getting a divorce, you've already been separated. So I think as soon as it's final, I say it's fair game at that point. Because number one, we know how y'all women are. Y'all don't want to, because I think I asked you too. I think I've asked several women on the podcast now, and y'all say y'all wouldn't date a married man even if he was getting a divorce. It had to be finalized. And I'm like,
yes. And just to circle back, Big, like we're talking about Pete and Kanye, Kim, and we're just how soon is it to move on? Because like I said, he asked if I'm really Team Kim or Team Kanye. I'm Kim. Like we share the same birthday, so I feel like we can kind of relate in some things. So, but it's like she kind of moved on too fast for Pete. So I kind of feel bad for Kanye because I am a Kanye fan. But I agree, like with Rockett, and a guy just got me that way a few years ago. I was dating a guy. He told me he was divorced, but come to find out, separated. Papers wasn't even filed. No, man. You don't need to talk to me until it is divorced.
See, that's not fair.
Why?
Because that takes if
is that not still in the Bible? Like, is that are you not?
I mean, premarital sex is supposed to be forbidden too, but I'm sure you're having that. So I mean, are we just picking and choosing what we follow in the Bible now?
Yeah. That's what I live. It's just that. I don't know. It's just, yeah, I'm very straightforward when it comes to that, man. No, we don't need to even be conversing unless it's final. Or at least the papers are
that's not fair because that takes so long to do.
Yeah.
Separated. If y'all living in different places, I feel like that's as divorced as you can be without having it actually legal. But if he was living somewhere else from his wife, and she had her place and he had his, that means it's done. That means it got to a point where y'all not even living in the same place no more. So that means it's done. That means it's only a matter of time until it's finalized. But I don't think you should.
Like what before papers are filed?
Yeah. See, my parents, they technically never got a divorce, and they've been separated for like almost 15 years now.
Wow.
They've been separated for a minute. And my mom moved on. She had a man and all this other stuff. Yeah. It didn't really connect to nothing like that. But they both moved, and they still both separated. They still kind of cool, but they separated, man. It wasn't nothing crazy where it's like, oh, this is a married woman or this is a married man.
Yeah.
They both moved. My mom moved out, and that was it.
Well, this is the thing and even with having baby mamas, baby daddies, what have you, is the chance of them possibly going back. So with the papers not being filed, I can get it if they've been filed and it just takes time to process. I'll date you with that. But if they haven't even been filed yet, it's like at any second you can move back in with them.
But see,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because okay, they could still be messing around and have a finalized divorce. If you're dating somebody who had an ex-girlfriend, he could always go back to her.
Always.
So what is the difference between that and he could go back because it's not finalized? Well, any guy can go back to their old girl at any time.
Finalized to me is clarification that it's over. Like it's to me like that y'all at least moving forward now.
So do you think when you get a divorce it's illegal for you to see that person again and have a relationship and have sex again after you get divorced?
Well, I'm haunted, by the way, because my mom was cheated on by my dad. So when it comes to marriage and stuff, I'm very like it was embedded in me. So I'm real like picky on that. And so when unless it's finalized, I'm just like, and that's the risk you're taking dating someone with a baby's mother. For me, is you can always go back. Always. An ex can always go back. And I have a history of exes always going back. So it's like
what do you do to push them away?
That's the question. That's a $1 million question.
I'm just kidding. I'm just playing with you. Nah, I'm sure it's their fault.
It's always my fault. So. But no, I don't know. It's just that's clarification for me that maybe is moving forward, that it got finalized. Going back to Kim, it's just how soon is it? Because for Kim, it's like, have you always had a thing for Pete? And now said that it's moving forward. Okay, let me just hurry up and hop up over here. How long have you been seeing this guy?
But wait, it's not like she's the only one though. Kanye been with Julia Fox
Yes.
And now he already with the Kim Kardashian clone. I don't even know her name. I just know she looked exactly like Kim Kardashian did about 5 years ago. So, nah, I mean, he's moved on too. He's out here doing, at least Kim ain't doing photo shoots with Pete Davidson all on him.
Now she is. They're Instagram famous now.
But they're Instagram official. Yeah.
Official,
But it's not, but they're not taking like sexual pictures together in a restaurant like Kim and Julia Fox were.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to get to disrespectful, I feel like that's way more in terms of, hey, it ain't finalized, but you still making it known that you with this new girl. So,
and to answer your second question, it's like what R. Kelly say, which is the realest thing. When a woman's fed up, it ain't nothing you can do about it. So Kim was fed up. And I completely feel like she's done. When a woman is fed up, it ain't nothing you can do. And Kanye been doing some crazy stuff, moving right next door to her. Dude, that don't matter. When she's done, she is done. And I hate it for Kanye because, I mean, he's not wrapped too tight. And Kim knew this about him before she even got with him. But it's just, to me, with a relationship, you know how this person is. It's all on how much you can deal. So you knew Kanye was like, this is just, I guess she just couldn't take it no more. So it's a mess. I think Kanye should stop because the whole deal, Hughley and Noah, it's just getting out of hand and to making him look really crazy. But I feel bad for him. I definitely do. Because I mean, that's like you guys. What if y'all was just so in love and y'all are doing anything to win her back? After all that shit, y'all done talked about her publicly. She should take you back after that. Like,
yeah, that's my point. Like, I wouldn't expect you to feel bad for me if I was telling you, man, I'm done with this bitch. She gets on my nerves. I just want a divorce. I'm done with her. And I was crying a few months later talking about, I just want my family back. You look at me like, nigga, you just said you want to get rid of this girl.
But he's bipolar.
Now you're trying to get her back.
He's bipolar.
Nah, that excuse only gets you so far.
Is it true?
That excuse. Oh, speaking of which, did you see the Kanye documentary?
I did, and I enjoyed it. Yes, of course. Yeah. Oh, and very nice. Yeah. So I like seeing him and Pharrell's relationship. And speaking with Pharrell need a documentary for sure. And NERD, I was a huge NERD fan, so that documentary should be sick. So I did. Did you?
You can see. Yeah, we liked it. We liked it a lot.
Very good.
You can see Pharrell stealing from Marvin Gaye in real time.
Hey, real quick, I don't want to interrupt, but we got Jasmine in the building, man.
Hey, Jasmine. Hey.
She was in the neighborhood. She just stopped by, so she hopped on to say what's up. And happy 200.
Yes, happy 200th episode, Gems and Juice. Jules, I'm so sad I don't have my laptop so I can finally meet you.
Come around to the camera. Let's see you. On. Don't be shy.
About to come on over.
Hey,
what up, girl.
Yes, nice to meet you finally. Hey, Rockett, it's been forever.
Yes. Yes, happy 200. Props to you for keeping it going as well. Happy 200, man. It's a collective effect. And I'm so proud, yeah.
I heard Jasmine with that controversial hoodie on.
You know what? Just for you. Just for you. I knew you was gonna say something about it.
Appreciate it. First, let's do a little quick check-in with Jasmine. How you been doing, girl? How you holding up?
I'm good. I'm gonna try to make more effort to be here more often. But you know me and Figgy be doing stuff behind the scenes. But I'm doing well. DJing has been going really well. So you know, yes, thank you. Jules. I'm a DJ girl. So
yes, okay. Well, so yes, wherever you at, let me know. Yes, and I will definitely pull up for sure.
Yes. Okay.
We need more female DJs. I just got a friend, female DJ, who moved from Atlanta. We need it. So for sure, whenever you got your set, I would definitely look. Let me know.
Yeah, well, also
for the Rockett out of the country because I'm in a Tuscaloosa, but I will be willing to drive.
Well, if you're not free, I mean, if you're not busy on the 29th, I know there's an event going on at Bar 5015. They're having like an all female me versus me type of showcase.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're free, I'll hit you up off.
Yeah.
Wait, is it only females allowed in the venue, or only females competing?
No, they're not competing. It's like they're ending, what is it? They're ending Women's History Month and just doing a showcase of just all women DJs and just providing the vibes for that night, is my understanding. So anybody can show up. Rockett, let's be friends.
Is heckling allowed?
No.
No.
Well, I'm not gonna heckle you. I'm gonna go get some competition.
I'm not DJing. I'm going to support. I'm not a part of the actual showcase, but I'm excited for it though.
Okay.
What's the location?
Bar 5015. Yes. So if y'all want to pull up, Rockett, come on, just come on, let's be friends. You don't ever.
Go. What is that? The 29th? What day is that?
I think it's a Tuesday or a Thursday. It's a random day.
I'll be doing goofy shit during the week. 29th is Tuesday. Yeah, okay. I'll make an effort. I'll go. I'll go. All right.
We don't need any Rock Nation supporters who's
look. You need somebody to keep it real up in there, okay?
True talent only. I'm just playing.
Yeah, well, it's good to have the whole podcast family together. It's been so long. Long since we talked to both of y'all. So great to have, people. I think people don't forget we have females at one point on the podcast. Good to have y'all. Good to have y'all. Appreciate it, Jasmine. We gonna link up soon.
Absolutely.
Sure. Oh yeah. Okay. I'll see y'all later. But thank y'all for having me. Happy 200th. Y'all I know it's gonna be a good episode. I've been hearing y'all getting into all this Kanye stuff. So I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's good. The lovely Jasmine joining us again real quick. So that's the entire podcast family right there. We got the original matriarch Jules, and we got the lovely Jasmine coming in as well. So that's the History of Gym Juice podcast. It's been us 4 holding it down for 200 episodes. So
yes, sir.
Good to have the whole family back. We had
as well. So yeah, whoop whoop.
I'm gonna walk Jasmine out real quick. I'll be back.
Okay. All right.
Keep the conversation going, man. This is 200.
No, we gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going, man.
Yep.
So another thing I want to ask you, because I've been seeing these dating conversations going on the timeline, and I see a lot of debate going on between who has it harder in the dating pool, women or men.
Ooh.
I see a lot of women talking about how hard it is to date a black man in this day and age because they want somebody who's educated. And this is a real tweet I saw. Educated. They didn't say money, but they're implying that, especially when they say educated. Educated, no kids, not homophobic. I guess that's a deal breaker for them. And some other things as well. But they're saying that it's very hard to find a man who matches at least those. That's what they call the bare minimum. And men are also saying, it's difficult to find a good woman these days. You ain't gonna find. Look, there are certain things we're just not gonna find anymore. You're not gonna find a woman that cooks. I've accepted. Well. You can find women who can throw something together. And I'm talking about you ain't gonna have a home cooked meal when you come home from work.
Okay.
Type woman. So those things are out the window. But there's also, it's hard to find a woman who ain't talking to a bunch of guys, who ain't living on Instagram. And look, you don't think so?
A woman who talks to a bunch of guys. So women are. I hear it. Women are really players out here more so than men. You're saying?
I think so. Yeah. I think the roles have kind of reversed.
Absolutely.
I think men talk to a lot of women, but I feel, and actually, this was a study I read. Actually, they found that the morals have kind of reversed, where the men are looking to be monogamous and the women want to be polyamorous or whatever with a bunch of men, or at least entertain several men at the same time, where men are kind of like, they more want the one woman who's gonna be down for them.
Right.
So who do you think has it harder in a dating pool, women or men? Do you think, I mean, you cuffed up now, so you're technically out the game, but who do you think has it harder dating wise?
That's a good question. I honestly think maybe men do. I think men do, thanks to the Me Too movement.
Okay, I want to hear this.
No, because I'm always vouch for this, man. Ever since the Me Too movement and women being more educated, or not, I don't know, more educated, but there are more women getting the education. I feel like this whole theory is going out that we don't need a man, and that's not true. I mean, it's like the Jill Scott song, man. I can do this, I can do that, but at the end of the day, I still need a man, and that's not being publicized enough. I mean, we have Women's Appreciation Month. It was even 1 year to where I think the BET Awards was dedicated towards women. We had all these women shows, but where's the uplift on men? Because y'all still need to be uplifted out here as well and show support. And it's twice as hard. So I'm gonna go up for y'all on that, because I definitely think the narrative has been changed to where now women, since we may make a little bit more money than whomever, we feel like we have to be the breadwinner. I even spoke with one of my coworkers. His ex-wife was upset when he started making more money than her. That is so weird to me, because growing up, like, the man was the breadwinner. They was so why would it upset you that your man is making more money than you? That is so bad.
She liked the control.
Yeah.
She liked the thought. See, because now he probably feeling himself.
Yeah.
He's like, damn, I don't need this girl no more. I could actually go bring another woman in here now.
And that's what it is. At the end of the day, you guys, y'all want to feel wanted. Y'all want to feel wanted. So for us to push y'all away because we might have the education or what have you, I think, it's harder for you guys, because we walk around as if we don't need a man when really we do. So I think that's but I got to throw this out here, and this is one of my questions. Why
is this weather, bro?
Yeah, we're going into I asked Jules who has it harder in a dating pool, men or women.
Hit him with it, Figgy. You gotta play something.
I'm gonna play a little music bed, but
come on.
There we go. Taking it back.
I can't find your intro. I need to find your intro.
Okay. My thing is, like, why do men not approach women? Why is it hard for men to approach women nowadays? It seems like the older gentlemen, the old school cats, maybe 45 and up, will approach a woman, but our generation, young, they'll see somebody they like, a fine woman they like, and will not approach her because they're scared of rejection. Why is that?
Good question.
You just answered the question.
You did. And not only just that, scared of rejection, plus with another thing too. Y'all have trained that out of us. Y'all have told us that is wrong to cold approach. Y'all call that harassment. Y'all do. Look, there's been many. If you're on social media like everybody is now, a lot of people at least, you'll see all these videos of people getting called out for catcalling women. And yes, I'm not talking about the ones that go way too far. You know, people who are stalking women. That's scary, creepy shit. That's different. But there are dudes who just try to holler, and then they make a compilation of all the guys when a good-looking woman is walking down the street, and all the guys who try to holler at her. And like, some of them go too far, like I said, but some of them are just saying, hey, you know, typical, like, it might be a corny approach, but it's harmless. And that goes in the compilation of see what happens to women when you go outside. So we see that, and now we're like, okay, y'all don't want to be bothered, apparently. So why would I cold approach and take a risk of, you know, bothering somebody or making it? Because I feel like women, everybody's extremely socially awkward now
True.
in general.
True.
We all live on the internet, and we would rather date through a dating app than actually meet people in real life.
It's so bizarre
And that's
to me.
the issue.
But why not try it? You will never know unless you try, right? Okay, you can at least try, and if you get rejected, okay, wait a minute. I mean, I don't want her. I mean, but if you would never know unless you try, and that's what gets me, because okay, and no diss, no shade, but if you want a woman to support you or back you up or be submissive and be the man, then why can't you even do that step? Nowadays we have women proposing to men. Why are we performing man roles? Like now y'all want us to holler at y'all. What? What? But y'all want the submissive, and what? It's so backwards to me.
It's so funny you said that about the women proposing to men, because every time we see a video like that, it's a whole bunch of women like, oh, I would never. Clearly, it's some people that would do that. Some women that would do that, because I keep seeing these damn videos. At first, it was like, there's only one person doing it, and you can find. Yeah, a broken clock is right twice a day or some shit. But I'm starting to see more of these women doing this, man. So I'm a little worried.
Yes, because they have the women are gaining the courage. I guess they smell themselves with the money or what have you, and they feel that we can just take on men roles. And it's certain women we can do anything, but it's certain things I just do not want. Like to hear what's her name, Doris do play-by-plays. I don't want to hear that.
You don't like those?
No.
Hey, don't be hating on Doris Burke, man. Come on, she did a good job.
I don't
Come
want
on, man. Just because she a woman, she knows what she's talking about. Dude. Now the all-female broadcast teams, yeah, I agree. Yeah. But Doris Burke ain't hurt nobody. Stop it. Leave her alone. Yeah.
When she did the Buffaloes game like one time, I'm like, dude, no, not football. I can't.
Oh yeah, football was bad.
I know she did. I know she did football.
She did, yes. She did a Buffalo game one time, and I was like, oh no, I cannot do that. I can't. It's like, come on, but yeah, it's like y'all want that, y'all want to feel supportive, but at the same time, y'all are afraid to approach us. So already you're not starting out too good.
Yeah.
Look, y'all. The problem is y'all making it hard. That's the problem. And you touching it with the whole, I want to say the Me Too thing. I don't want to go there. But just the feminist movement in general has become more of women just want to do what men do and not just what they want to do. Because I feel like some of these jobs women are taking, like, was it really your job, your desire to be a football coach as a kid, as a girl? Like, I don't know, maybe. But like some of these things, I feel like
to prove a point.
Yeah, to say, hey, we can do it.
Yeah.
Which you can do whatever you want, but doesn't mean it's a thing you really want.
Yeah. I think the problem I have with that too is it's a fact that men are stronger than women, physically stronger than women. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I don't like them. I don't want to see women trying to play football or get on the same field with these grown ass, strong ass men.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I'm not saying they can't do it, but some stuff physically is best to be separated. Like, I'm a big tennis fan. I don't want to see Serena Williams taking on name whoever male tennis player.
Right.
I think it's cool for it to be separated like that.
But it's nothing like, we can't do anything, but it's nothing like a man who will go out and cut a tree, work, or just to show strength. It's nothing like it. To make the approach, to have the courage. So I mean, if something of as far as getting rejection stops you, what makes you think that y'all can just carry us through with everything else? Like,
But
if
the
y'all
thing,
can't,
like, it's not even just rejection. Like, I think most men think that women don't want to be approached, period, in public.
But it's still
So,
that you're thinking.
but
You
it's
don't
because of
know.
what we've read from y'all. Like, this is what
Yeah.
y'all be saying. I hate when people bother me when I'm on the subway. When most women walk around with headphones in, number one. So to approach somebody when you cold, you got to tap them on the shoulder, say, "Hey, excuse me,
Yeah.
I want to take you out someday," and then have to deal with that. So you have to jump like it. We're not a culture. We're not a society that promotes cold approaching anymore. We used to be. People used to go outside all the time.
Yeah.
Now motherfuckers stay indoors. They scared of COVID. They scared of whatever. They stay indoors, And when women do go out, y'all go out with all your girlfriends, or with your other men. So at what point, when single women don't just go out by themselves usually. I know you do, Jules.
I do.
Different. You different, okay? Most women don't go out by themselves. They just get on dating apps.
Yeah, I go out and I love to go out, have my beer, and watch the games. Well, now since I'm taking no, but I used to, and it will be older men, like 50 and up. But our generation, it's like they're not going. It's like, why? And I don't understand that. But y'all want us to be submissive and be wifey and all that stuff. But I can't holler at us. What's going on?
We just want to be loved. That's all men really want.
That's
we just
it.
want to be loved. Okay. It's tough. It's hard enough as a black man on these streets, We don't got to be fighting our black women too. Tab said I'm right. See, Tab see what I'm talking about. He said Rockett is right. Women don't want to be bothered.
Y'all will not know if she wants to be bothered unless y'all try. And then what is your approach, Rockett? Like, how do you approach them?
Look,
how would you holler at somebody?
Y'all, number
you must
one,
be from Tennessee because you're the only 10 I see. Like, what's your approach? What do you say?
Oh, man. Get out of here with that Will Smith. That's a Will Smith Prince line, man.
Are your feet tired? Some goofy shit like that.
I noticed you noticed me. I just want you to notice that I noticed you too.
Mm-hmm.
What is your
and that's the awkward thing. Like the pickup line is considered corny now too. Like so, like even if as a guy walking up to a woman trying to say, "Hey, let's go out," that feels awkward. Period. Because we're not really, like I said, we're not in society that promotes that kind of thing anymore.
But some people can be corny. And some women can be corny and they find it funny. And if you get a laugh out of them, so
that's true. That is true. Once you make them laugh,
if you get that laugh, go then. So
yes. And see, the other problem is when you see stuff on social media like, this guy just said hello to me. Weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, like all the man said was hello. Like, how is he supposed to talk to you? And then you see other tweets like, if he cute, I might talk to him. If he ugly, I'ma say it's harassment and call the police. It's like, what made me want to talk to you now?
It's funny you said that because I actually saw something like this that happened like last week or maybe a few days ago. A TikTok went kind of viral. It went viral for the wrong reasons. This girl was working out at the gym. Well, working out, not really. She was posing by the mirror. And the TikTok, in that automated voice, robot voice said, when you just want to take pictures at the gym, but some creepy guy who's old to be your father or maybe have a daughter your age looks at you instead and checks you out. And they showed a dude behind, like he looked for like a half a second. And she was trying to make him out to be some kind of creepy guy. And she ended up deleting her whole TikTok and her old social media. So everybody came after her.
Yeah.
But this is what women be doing for attention sometimes, man. They be trying to look for creeps. And whenever they get one, they want to blast it on social media. This man had a family, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Had kids and everything. He was put on blast by this girl who was trying to get engagement on TikTok.
Yeah.
So
he probably like, what the fuck is she doing with the camera out?
Yes. Poking her ass out, trying to take a picture. Like, and I'm a guy who I look at everything at the gym. Okay. So
Yeah. Or sometimes have you ever been in a situation where you look at a certain direction, but you kind of zoned out?
Yes.
Mhm.
And then somebody be like, "Hey, what?" And you be like, "Huh?" Like I wasn't even paying attention to you. I was in a whole nother world. I was thinking about if I was rich, if I had $1 million right now.
It is so
I wasn't
funny.
paying you no attention.
It is so funny you say that because my guy now he thinks I'll be peace watching is what he call it. He say my eyes like kind of looks, but I don't do that. I'm like, do I like can you do that? But you're not even like looking. You just zoned out talking to somebody, and then I don't know. Can you even peace watch? Do women even do
Well,
that?
you're a little shorter, so maybe your eyes just naturally go there by eye level. But
it's like, no, okay.
look,
But
I won't even deny. I will look at asses all day, but it won't necessarily be no pervert shit. I'll be like, damn, I'll look at it like I'm appreciating art.
oh
Like,
my god,
that's a nice ass,
art.
and just go along my day.
Same here, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes we be out, me and my wife be out and about. I'm like, damn, look at that ass over there. that's nice. I'm like, don't make it look obvious. Like, just kind of turn slowly and look.
Oh my god,
She do the same thing too. Sometimes she be like, damn, you ain't see that ass.
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, you got it. Fine is fine, but so y'all have no problem with a woman asking you guys out. Well, I'm sure y'all taking, but a woman asking a guy out is nothing.
Like, I'll admit, like, if a girl asks me out, I'll assume something's wrong with her, just because it's why are you asking men out? Like,
Yeah.
period.
You just said that would you approach her?
I would. Okay, here's the thing, men, we want to approach, but we want it to be known that you're welcome to the approach. Kind of like if you're a male lion, and you see a female lion, probably poke it out or something. I don't know, do something to like. So just so you know, like I will approach a girl, but I would want to know
we look for the green light.
Yes,
You give us
her
the
look
green
me
light
up and down. Her be like, damn. Give some kind of nonverbal communication that is okay for me to talk to her.
Yeah, I think the green light too is hey, how you doing? If they acknowledge you, then it's like, okay, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? That kind of give you the green light to at least talk. But some women don't even look at you. Some they might look real quick, like you a nigga in the middle of the mall trying to sell something. And if they just keep walking like that, then it's like no chance. But if they actually,
when do they look at you? Like they might not notice you. Like when are they supposed to look at you?
Well, then if you probably not in the space to be approached,
yeah,
if you're not even like, because that, like I said, most women walk around with headphones in their ears.
I've never heard of them.
They do.
I think
they do.
everybody do.
Oh my god, that's crazy. They do.
They do. They walk around like, and you listen to music or whatever. Like, so it's awkward to approach in that situation when you're in your own world. Because, like, me personally, I guess, you'll never know. But me personally, I tend to view things the way I view them sometimes, and like usually I don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
In most circumstances, I just don't want to be bothered by anybody. So that's how and that could be a mistake, because a lot of people don't mind, random conversation with strangers. I don't like talking to random people I don't know, unless they're funny or entertaining, and most of them aren't.
That's already two things. Number one, you can't expect everybody to move the way you move.
That's true.
Number two, like I just done lost it. But yeah, you can't expect that. And then number two is just like, I mean, you gotta let her know. You just never know unless you try.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough finding a good woman in 2022. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I agree with that. But on the
we losing recipes
for the women. Yeah, we got to deal with.
Y'all have standards we don't put on y'all. I'll say that much. One thing I've noticed: a man can never list his standards on social media.
Does
because
that
he
matter?
always gets flamed for it. It could be the most basic things. No kids. For some reason, it's a bad thing for a man to say, I don't want a woman with kids. But women can say that all day about men, and it's okay.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Nowadays, should we lower our standards? Not lower our standards, but maybe just dumb them down a little bit. Because in 2022, everybody's gonna have a kid, right? It's slim pickings out there to not have a kid. So what if you have this great guy, but he happens to have a kid? All right, is that an automatic deal closer?
I feel like I'm not gonna say you shouldn't have standards, but I think everybody should be open to anything.
Yes.
You know, I think what's most important is how a person treats you, how you're treated back, how they make you feel, and all the other stuff is extraneous. You know, you can work around having kids or not having kids. You can't work around a guy being an asshole or not, or a guy not doing things for you, or not taking you out, or not giving you like whatever you think is really important.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's more important than the artificial things you see first. Like, oh, he has kids, I can't date him.
Yeah.
Oh, he ain't got no money right now, so I can't date him. Like, you never know what people are gonna do, but it's mostly got to be about, you know, how they treat you and how they make you feel. Same with men too. You know, I don't think we have many standards or expectations for women. Period. You know, we just want y'all is ass fat. Okay, we in there. That's all we really care about. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Okay, so if a guy isn't used to like moving and hustling and making his own money by 35, is that something he could pick up?
Okay, I think it depends. If you see a guy is struggling now, but he's trying, I think that's a good thing because at least he's trying. Not everybody's going to have everything figured out, even by their mid-30s. You know, if you're trying, let's say a guy's in school and he got like a part-time shitty job. At least he's working towards something. Now, if the guy is like in his mid-30s trying to be a rapper,
yeah.
Yeah. You can let that go because he just clearly ain't grown up.
Yeah.
But all of us struggle sometimes, man. So I don't like the whole thing with money and just a guy ain't got no money. He can't $200 dates. You know,
No.
he can't spend $50 on a date for me, so we can't be together. Like, all right, man.
And that's and I don't mean to like just give up your standards or lower your standards, because no, go for what you want because you plan on spending the rest of your life with this person. So go for, you should go for what you want. But certain things like that, as far as the money wise and kids and stuff, we might need to just because you want love. Love might come in any type of form. And so you gotta pick and choose what to deal with and what you can't deal with. But this is the this last third question that I'm gonna ask as far as dating. Do you believe it's possible for a relationship to work with two different educations? Like you might have went to school and they didn't. Do you think that's possible of working? Because women are saying that it's nice to get a man who has the same education as you.
So, so just regular, like a regular degree and no degree.
Yes.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah.
And it's definitely possible because shit, I just got my high school diploma in the mail like last year.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. But my wife, she went to college, she got her degree. And to me, it was a little rough, man, because I already felt self-conscious because I didn't even graduate high school. And now it's like, damn, like whenever I'm around her family, everybody got these degrees and I'm a nigga with no high school diploma. And people ask, oh yeah, when I went to college, and then I don't have a college story.
Yeah.
So it's a little bothersome, but that was for me personally.
Okay.
But I think if you got a good job and a good career, I think that don't even matter.
And I'm sure your wife never made you feel less than or no different, right?
Oh, see, this is the thing. She hate when I bring this up.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you know, I'm not the best speaker in the world, so sometimes I pronounce some shit wrong.
Right.
And she always try to correct me, like, "Oh no, it's this."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have a high school diploma. You got the degree. So she hate when I do that shit because she felt like oh no, you're smarter than that. Blah 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 blah.
Especially when you go out and people. It's funny because that's the situation I'm in. Like my guy, he didn't even graduate high school. So, and I got a college degree, but stuff like that, it's like, hey, that's something you can deal with. If you like them, you like them, man. And it is what it is because you can work towards something like that. My auntie didn't graduate high school, but she went back and got her GED, and now she's a VP HR, and she's making 6 figures. So anything is possible. If that can happen, it's just certain things you just got to nip in the bud. That money stuff can come. It's just who they are on the inside. If they a natural born hustler, they're gonna be rich regardless. So it shouldn't be financial more so. That's one thing I think us as women should tone down on a little bit. Like, oh, you gotta have this now, because it goes back to, I think it was 21 Savage that said this, like, if a man supports a woman who doesn't have money, it's cool, but a woman who supports a man that don't have money is shitted on. And that is true, unfortunately.
That's one of the double standards.
Yeah.
21 also says okay for a man to have a bunch of women because at least he's hunting. It's not okay for a woman to cheat because that's not natural for y'all. So that's what 21 said too. If you quoting 21, go all the way. He said it's okay for men to cheat. I'm like, hey, I agree.
I used to have a starting 5, okay? Like starting 5.
See,
going
against the grain.
the main one, and then one who takes you to the movies, whatever. I mean, that's what I'm giving a little tricks to the girls out there. So
you getting free meals, damn Jane. About the education thing, I'll say, I've dated women, and I graduated college, of course, but I've dated women who didn't have that education and did. And look, I can get along with anybody, as long as their feelings are there. Men can't cheat. We diversify. I like that. I'm gonna use that from now on. But I would say, man, like, I think there's a communication that it's easier to communicate when y'all have a similar education level.
Yes.
Like, I'm talking to a girl who went to nursing school and it did all that. So she, we can communicate on the same level. I've dated women who haven't gone to college, have barely graduated high school, and it's like there's just a barrier there, man. It's we don't really talk the same sometimes. Like, I try to be the asshole that Figgy's this, like the whole I correct your language, but sometimes your grammar is so bad I gotta say something. And then like
Rockett,
they feel
no, you don't.
I try not to, man. I try not to. Men are the only ones that bring value to. Are we becoming a Kevin Samuels podcast?
Dude, we have a lot. It's a lot of random ass comments on here.
Are we the new Fresh and Fit? In the world, I fuck with Patrice O'Neal. Subjugate those hoes. I feel that. I follow the towel of Patrice O'Neal as much as I can realistically. God. But damn, we done became the new Kevin Samuels podcast up in here, man. What's going on? This might be our new avenue here. But I think, look, communication is a lot easier when you're at the similar education level. I'll say that much. It's easier to text somebody. Like, it's easier for me to text a girl who, went to college and, use correct punctuation and shit. I don't get annoyed. That sounds very judgmental. I mean, I guess, man, but like, we're being real here. Like, look, y'all know, like, I don't want to sound like a dick, but let's say,
go off.
Like, have you ever talked to somebody who's just clearly not on the same education level and don't really know a whole lot? Like, it's kind of hard to talk to them, right? Like, let's say you're talking to somebody who, like, I don't want to say like a janitor because I don't want to, say all of them are dumb. But like, let's say somebody at the building you work at, and you're trying to communicate about something, Kwame Brown sent us.
Hey, real quick, man. Shout out to everybody that's listening right now.
Yes,
We're getting
absolutely.
a shit ton of comments, man.
200, happy 200. Woo, woo.
Yeah, somebody sent y'all. Who sent y'all? Because we're getting
Hey,
a
now
shit ton of
somebody,
comments.
Kevin Samuels is a queer like a Broadway cowboy. Are y'all friends with the? I see. Okay, here's we go. So you're saying that you would not hit on a hot woman because her education level? I definitely would. We're talking about dating. We're not talking about sex.
Go off for Rockett.
We know men are dogs. We know men are dogs. But look, I'm talking about dating. Talking to somebody the same every single day. It gets annoying when you're talking to somebody who can't text, who can't, y'all don't watch the same movies or understand the same things. Maybe she likes reality TV trash all day, and you're trying to watch like National Geographic or some bullshit sometimes, and she gets mad at you for watching shit like that. That shit kind of matters in a relationship, man. Let's be real, it does.
It does.
So
that does.
I think it does in the long term kind of matter, but you can work things out.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing. Like, if they don't have the education.
I only hit on dog. Where the fuck these people come from, man?
Dude, I don't know, man. They just
if they don't have the education, they want to be willing to learn. They have to be willing to grow. If they're not willing to grow and have that sorry communication, then no, there's no choice on that. There's no win on that. But they have to be willing to want new things and try new things. And yeah, but mine, he kind of looks side at me because it drives me crazy when he say conversate, and I'd be like, it's converse.
Yes, things like that. Things like that. Like,
but we'll work on it.
You can't have it both ways to suit your needs. That's that misogyny, sir. Look, I'm saying I give love to anybody. I don't care if you didn't graduate high school or got your master's degree. Like, look, if you cool, you give me love, we can talk. But let's not act like it's not difficult when you're at two different levels. It is. She don't need to be a Rockett. Come on, man. Like y'all ain't lying. But I'm like, let's be honest with ourselves. It does matter in dating. It's harder to communicate when y'all at different levels. Let's be real about it.
So Figgy is 2-1, sounds like.
You said what?
It sounds like it's 2 against 1. Us against 5.
All right, so ask me the question again so I can give you a right answer.
Basically, we're arguing whether education level matters in dating. Whether you have to be at the same level of education to date or get along, whatever.
I don't think so. I think with me personally, it was a personal thing because I felt self-conscious because I didn't graduate. But it was no problem. I think as long as you got your career, I got my career and she got her career, I think everything is cool. But if it was a situation where she got her career and you don't have anything and you're not trying to do anything, then I think that's where it would be a problem because it's like, damn, dog, you're not doing nothing. I'm out here busting my ass and going through school and trying to better myself, and you're not doing anything. I think that's when it would become a problem.
Exactly. If they just doing nothing completely, oh hell no. But if you didn't get your education, you got to be out here at least working, doing some type of work. It can't be both. Oh hell no, I'm not doing it. But it's either one or the other. So because some guys with education, they might not have that work ethic to where they can be the smartest man in the world, but they don't know how to go out and make $1. So
why do people keep saying a hat? I don't know if they talking about my hair.
I think they think that's a hat you're wearing, man. No, that's Figgy's actual hair, y'all. Come on now.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah.
Come on, y'all. Chill out. Be nice, people. We can debate. You ain't got to make fun of people. Come on now. Let's be nice. So as long as the woman is hot, educated, you will be in the kitchen and we'll be in the kitchen. I didn't even mention the kitchen. Look, we already have accepted the fact that women don't cook no more.
Yeah.
Like we've gone past that, man. Ain't nobody saying get your ass in the kitchen no more. Come on now. We making our own sandwiches now. It's 2022.
All right. Real quick, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you got the last word. Take the last word because I'm gonna transition.
Okay. I will say, like, okay, if they do, even though they do know how to cook, this ain't the 1970s, 1920s. It's 2022 to where you can cook too, right? You can't just expect her to cook, even though she can cook. Can it swap out? Is it okay to swap out? Maybe I don't feel like cooking one day, so you can cook. Is that okay?
No, it's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, look, there's nothing against that. Like, look, I'm just saying, like, women act like we expect y'all. Men are expecting women to cook all the
Yes.
time, and we
Yes.
know that era's over. You know, we in it too. Bitch, better come on, man. Like, let's not be capping. You ain't got a cap. You ain't got a cap. All the best cooks.
All right, hey, real quick, let's bring another guest in. We got another guest. This guy is making his first appearance on the Gems and Juice podcast, and I think we all pretty cool with this guy. Let's bring on my man, Paul Gallant.
Hey, Paul, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? I'm dabbing right now. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun to dab. How are you guys doing?
Good.
We're good. Are these your fans you're bringing into this podcast, man?
No,
we got a lot of.
Listen, I'm at home. I figured I may as well be super professional and come in with the little home studio setup in my shitty apartment. Right, you'll see cockroaches on the back wall.
We got a whole bunch of comments going on, man, and usually it's only one person commenting, but tonight I see some random ass people. So I don't know if we're going viral or what, but
I like it.
Yeah, man.
We didn't got the whole Kwame Brown, Kevin Samuels. Come on, man.
What an aggressive question to ask coming in.
I know, man.
How about I leave it up to you to decide for yourself?
Hey, look, we don't judge. Are you from NYC?
No, gross.
Look, we getting off track with these comments, man. We ain't getting trolled no more. Y'all done trolled us enough. Yeah. Let's get back on track, man. Ain't no more trolling going on here.
For watching them.
I kind of like Ken of the North saying, "Ew, a white." I mean, he is. I am very white. Thank you for reminding me.
Come on, man. Stop. We are nice to our Caucasian brethren over here, man. So yes, let's talk to Paul, man. Our 200th episode. We never had you on the podcast before, actually, man. We meant to have it happen. But yeah, we got the great Paul Gallant, who is back fresh in Houston again, got his own show on ESPN radio, and is doing big things, man. A big sports day too. You've been covering this whole Deshaun Watson thing.
Oh, Jesus.
It's funny because you left one crazy quarterback situation in Seattle. Where Russell Wilson just left. Right. And now you're in Houston in the midst of this whole thing. So first off, man, personal checkup. How you been, bro? How's Houston been treating you since your return?
I've been very good. I mean, Rockett, you know me. And I think, Figgy, you're generally aware that I enjoy the nightlife. And I think Houston's nightlife is better than anywhere in the country, especially in comparison to Seattle, which is a very antisocial city. So it's been great to be back. I came back and somehow stumbled into a job. My new co-host, Vanessa Richardson, is a lot of fun.
Shout out to Vanessa.
Yeah, I just get to be goofy on the air. And there's somebody who actually gets my goofiness. So we'll see how long this one lasts, given radio. But it's been a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back, man. I've checked out the show on Twitch. Y'all stream on Twitch too. Great setup you got over there. Great to have you back, man. We missed you in Houston on sports radio for sure. Was hurt when you left, but we're glad you're back, man. So somebody said, go Syracuse, of course, of course.
Well, we suck at basketball, though. I made the tournament. We got a bunch of fucking Bayheims. God, it's awful. The whole team. Have more babies, Jim.
Now, Paul, you say you're a nightlife person in Houston. Is there a single nightlife in Houston? Are you single?
Yeah, I'm single. Yeah, sadly single. Very sadly single.
Hey, I recently got taken off the market, so I understand. But I just never really just dove into Houston's nightlife, single life. So it does exist out there.
Yeah. So for, I guess, we whites, it's a very small pond. Everyone fucks everyone else. I'm in a group of friends where there's been a lot of what's the word? Incest, I would suppose you would call it.
What?
Not like actual incest. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, like friend on friends, and now all of a sudden you're hanging out with your friends. I went to an engagement this summer, 2 people that way back in the day I was sort of in a love triangle, unbeknownst to me with. Good friends with them. I don't care. So it's a place where I think just like any city now, dating is hard, especially when you get into your 30s, because you get pickier. You don't want to deal with the bullshit. And I think a lot of people are just going to give things like 1 date or 2 date. And if they don't feel it, then they're not going to put up with trying a 3rd date or a 4th date and stuff like that. So, it's been definitely an adjustment coming back, but it's definitely at least an open market as opposed to Seattle where no one wanted to interact with each other.
Yeah.
So what are the other differences, man? Because we know the whole thing that happened in Seattle with, the time you ended up on Tucker Carlson.
Classic.
Because of your tweets. So returning to Texas, like, has that been a culture shock to you at all to go from Seattle and see what the mandates are all kind of repealed now, but back at that time, everybody was still wearing masks. There was vaccine mandates to go in public places, to Texas where, you wouldn't think anything happened in the past year or so. Has that been a culture shock coming back here?
Dude, they just repealed mask stuff. Like, I think this week. I'm not even kidding.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And after living, and I've lived all over the place. I grew up in Boston. I went to high school in Florida. And then I was here in Texas for 8 years before I went to Seattle. This is the most, compared to all those cities, normal political everything scene that I've been around, which is saying something, obviously. But if you go to Seattle, I mean, holy shit, it's just so far in one direction to the point of intolerance that it's a little bit concerning. I mean, I've told you this, Ryan. I got pushed into conservative talk radio, even though Tucker Carlson shit all over me. Like, that's what Seattle does to you. That's a nutshell.
Yeah, I was actually in Seattle for my birthday, and I actually hit you up.
You did?
And, it was so strict, man. It was really strict, man. As far as the mask, like, I went to go get a rental car, and so we get in the car, and you got to sign out and show the lady your paper or something. Like, they wanted me to put the mask on in the car. I'm like, damn. I didn't know it was that tight. But it was super strict, man.
I see people driving around with masks in their car often.
Yeah, and I know Texas has been getting shit on over the whole pandemic.
Oh, absolutely.
But at that point, I was like, man, I can't wait to get back to Texas.
Hey, I visited Texas a couple of times, and I just didn't tell anybody up there. And when I got back, I got tested the first day to make sure I didn't get anything along the way, and I was negative every single time that I went to go get tested. And I was relatively safe, but I wasn't super safe. But I never told anyone that I went to Texas and Florida a lot during the pandemic because that place just stopped being fun. Imagine you move to a new place, you want to have fun, you want to meet new people, you want to go out, do things, and it just totally shuts down for 2 years. And now it's rough. It's really rough. I'm glad I'm gone. That's for damn sure.
So I have a question for all you guys. Is Houston a great place to live or a great place to visit?
Ooh.
I would say it's a great place to live. I mean, every time I've moved away from Houston, I always come back.
Yeah.
And I've only been around, like, I've moved to Austin and I moved to Corpus Christi, one for college, one for work. And I moved back instantly, like, every time. I got sick of it. Austin is kind of like a mini Seattle in a way, I feel. People there were really getting on my nerves. Rockett,
that's not hard to do. So
fair enough. But yeah, it was just, Houston's a great place to live for me. I mean, reasonable living rates and more social life. To me, I would say Houston's a great place to live generally.
And I'm
sorry. Sorry. I never know what to tell people to do when they come visit. I'm always like, well, come get drunk with me or eat with me, but I don't, unless something like the rodeo cook-off or something is going on. I never know what to say. So I would say live.
Yeah. I've been recruiting everybody to move down here. I got my sister on board. My sister's supposed to be moving down, I want to say at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting a whole bunch of people to move down. I'm like the unofficial Houston ambassador, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm like, when you come down, we got to go here. You could go here. This restaurant is good. Make sure you check this out. I'm all on board, man.
You got to get all the women in town away from Deshaun Watson up in Cleveland.
Yeah. Speaking of which, because Figgy's bringing his family down from Cleveland, and one of our franchise quarterback formerly is moving from Houston to Cleveland. So I doubt you had time to talk about this on your show.
No,
because it happened kind of later in the afternoon. I know In the Loop guys just missed it like an hour after the show ended. So we got Figgy's thoughts on it. But what is your immediate reaction to the news about Deshaun Watson going to Cleveland and the package that the Texans got from the Browns for that?
The package is the package. I'm just glad it's fucking over. Figgy, I can't even imagine you still being in the radio game trying to think of a way to talk about this for the last year. Because I've only been doing this for a month now that I've been back in town. And I want to shoot myself every time we end up talking about it. It's like, will Deshaun Watson go to the Falcons or Saints? We did that for 3 days in a row.
And honestly, this was the entertaining part. Like all the other legal stuff, we planned the goddamn court hearing and all these legal terms and lawyers want to call up. And man, that was probably some of the worst radio I've been a part of, man.
Right. Playing lawyer on the radio.
It was really Law and Order, like the original Law and Order, not SVU. This was the original Law and Order, man. So damn boring. Man.
It's a bunch of Charlie Cullies from Always Sunny in Philadelphia pretending to be lawyers. Like, well, according to bird law. We don't know shit about what we're talking about.
If I never hear another lawyer on sports radio this year, and like enough, we got to break. First, we got to hear the press conference. Then we got to break down what the press conference means in legalese and translate it for us to realize, is he going to play this year or not? Like it got absurd.
They never stop talking either. You talk to a lawyer. No offense to the lawyers out there, but y'all like to talk more than me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Impressive.
No, that's your job, man. But so were you surprised that Deshaun Watson chose the Browns? And were you surprised that the Browns got him?
I was surprised at first because I thought they were out. I really thought the Falcons had him because Kyle Pitts, who has the same agent as Deshaun Watson, had tweeted out like, "Watch out, here we come, Atlanta." But then you saw the contract that he got. I mean, Jesus, $230 million guaranteed, and apparently that's $80 million more than any player in NFL history has gotten. Yeah, I would take that too if I'm about to pay a huge amount of that in settlements, in civil court, and to Rusty Harden for making things as convenient as possible for me along the way. It's about the money.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like that. I was honestly, until today, I thought it was about where he wanted to live. And that's why I thought, because he wanted to go to Miami in the middle of the season, even though they were terrible. So I figured it had to be the living location. But yeah, the fact that he went to Cleveland proves it was about the money, I feel.
Where would you guys rather live between Atlanta and New Orleans?
Atlanta.
If I'm rich, Atlanta. If I'm my level right now, New Orleans, probably.
Oh.
Yeah, I say Atlanta too.
I would say Atlanta. I love Atlanta.
Yeah, I love Georgia. Yeah, I lived in Georgia for 10 years, so I would definitely move back if I needed to.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy because sorry to get off topic, but Deshaun Watson is from Georgia, so it seems like it was just a match made in heaven. Like him going back, he worked for the Falcons. He was a ball boy.
Yeah, he was the ball boy. Yeah.
So I'm thinking like this is a perfect story. So I almost dropped my phone when I seen that news. I'm like, what? I thought they were out of it. I thought the Browns was out.
Yeah, same here. I mean, we got to talk about it. So I was filling in on the show after me, and we were legitimately just wrapping up and bullshitting. And the guy in the show that was coming up next, he came in studio and he was like, breaking news. And I was like, and he had a look on his face. I was like, oh, the trade must have just happened. And then he told us, and I was like, wait, Cleveland? Are you fucking kidding me? Because he had a look on his face, and I was like, oh, the look sold.
Yeah. I honestly, when I read it on Twitter, I thought somebody got hacked. I was like, "There's no way." After all these reports were just wrong, I guess. We had been taking on this roller coaster just from the end back with the Browns, who was the first team out. We heard, according to Twitter. So, yeah, crazy times, man. And in other quarterback controversy news, you came from Seattle. You had to cover the Seahawks for a whole season. I always wanted to go back because I remember when we did the show together, you used to shit on Russell Wilson all the time. And now I wanted to go back and dig up some audio and say, hey, remember when you said this, Paul? You're covering the team now, but I never did. But
I wish you did. Honestly, because when I first came up there, I was like, on the field, I love Russell Wilson. On the field. And I would never go any further than that. And dude, I got here and I always did wonder why so many of the guys that he played with in the Legion of Boom hated his guts. Richard Sherman, Doug Baldwin, on the offensive side of things. Like, there's a lot of players in Seattle that just don't like him. I mean, this is a great quarterback. Why is that the case? It's a weird thing. It's not like it doesn't happen in other locker rooms, but this one seems unique as far as the way that people dislike him, especially compared to his public persona. Over the last 2 years, I understand why. And it's not like he is doing bad things. It's that he is me, my legacy. I want to win. Always thinking about himself and his brand. I'm convinced that he and his wife, Ciara, that they want to be this A-list celebrity couple. And if you watch them, they got people following them around in Florence, and they're like slowly walking through a courtyard with cameras everywhere. And there's a way that they do it where it's borderline desperate, in my opinion, like to get to this level that they're probably never going to reach. Like, Ciara's reached her peak, and I think Russ has reached his peak based off of the way he's played over the last year and a half or so. So that's always been a little annoying with him. And he was too, I think, much of a coward because he wants everyone to like him, to put his name on a lot of the things that he was saying behind the scenes via Colin Cowherd, Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, Adam Schefter. His agent, Mark Rogers, was throwing barb after barb after barb after barb at the Seahawks. And the Seahawks, who will lie themselves from time to time, like all NFL teams, never, ever acknowledged it, ever. And people are giving him shit because during their post-Russell Wilson trade statement, they made clear in 3 separate statements, while Russell made this decision, and people were calling him petty for it. And I was like, man, they should have told him to go fuck himself and to not get sacked 45 times a season, half of which his fault in Denver when he goes into that division and he's playing against the Kansas City Chiefs and all those teams, Justin Herbert and stuff.
But Paul, why does that have to be like that? He took that team to a Super Bowl. Like he it's not like Deshaun Watson. He gave his whole career to Seattle, basically.
But he forced his way out of town.
That's what everybody does now.
But is that cool?
Like, was it okay? I got to call out your boy, Mr. Perfect Tom Brady. What's he doing? Why is he fake retiring and coming back? Like, what? Everybody's a diva now, man. Yeah. Everybody's a diva right now.
No doubt about it. And look, to be consistent, you're right. Brady is being a diva. Aaron Rodgers is being a diva. They're flexing. And honestly, you see all these players in the NBA doing it, like James Harden and the Rockets, like little bitches, just say like, oh, excuse me, sir. Yes, go wherever you want. We'll take nothing in return for you. Like that was terrible. But in this situation, if Russ had actually been a little bit more open about it publicly, I think I would have been more okay with it. But the problem was he was always winking. He's like, well, no, I'm not requesting a trade, everybody. That might be a fun story down the road in my book, but I'm just here to win. And the reality is that I'm here to win. And winning is what I like to do. I named my child Win. Did you know that? And that's what I like to do, win.
But to be fair, you covered the Brock Osweiler years in the Texans.
That's
Was
true.
Russell Wilson on the Seahawks that bad, man? You covered some truly awful
No, he's an
Texans
incredible
years, some
player.
of the worst years in Texans history.
See, the thing that made up for it, there's a difference. There's off-season Russ and there's regular season Russ. Regular season Russ is stupendous. I mean, he was borderline MVP in 2020 and 2019. I think you could have made an argument in the first half of each of those seasons that he was in the MVP conversation. He was great, but he's starting to slow down a little bit. So we'll see if that stays true in Denver. But off-season Russ, I was told that this is what he always is. And when you hear him talk, he talks and he talks and he talks and he says nothing except for the word reality. He'll say the reality is the reality, and the reality. He'll say the reality like 7 or 8 times a press conference.
Like a Casario and relative to.
Pretty much. He is quarterback Nick Casario.
Yeah, relative to football wins, So yeah, man. I gotta say, I've been checking some clips you've been posting on the ESPN page, man, from your show. I'm disappointed that my hip hop lessons didn't result in anything because you still seem exactly as ignorant about rap music as you were when I first met you.
Well, you're right. I mean, the problem is, Ryan, you had such an uphill battle. Like you were fucked from the beginning.
But look, I put Lil Flip, Slim Thug, ESG, some real Houston legends, man. So I'm like, okay, I felt like even when we stopped working together, I felt like you were going to be on the up and up. I feel like that was the last rap you ever listened to.
No, it's not. It's not. My problem is I only like 90s rap. And it's not to say I don't like today's rap, but I'm not going out of my way to listen to it. Where, I mean, some of the songs that you introduced to me, like Diamonds in Wood, Purple Stuff, like I have them on my rap playlist on Spotify. Okay. But the problem is I am just not going out of my way for any genre of music, mind you, to like discover new music. Because I'm always listening to podcasts like a nerd.
Yeah, I bet.
We know you ain't listening to Chamillionaire, as you said.
Yeah, no Chamillionaire.
No, so bad.
Nah, I bet we'll find some Ted Nugent on your playlist now, man. You don't went the reverse.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. Yeah. Listen, I'm musically challenged. I can't help it. I would. This is why I miss you, because you would help me out. I'll say this, Vanessa. Actually very on top of music.
I've noticed that.
She's been setting me straight very often because I'll be like, what's that? Okay.
Yeah, you didn't recognize Sierra's Goody song.
No.
And I
know it's
dog.
You don't know. My bad. See, I don't even know her name.
You cover Russell Wilson for a season. You talk about Sierra every day. You don't know Goodies, her biggest song.
No, I don't.
If you don't know any Sierra song.
Well, I mean, I worked for the Mormos, so it's not like we were allowed to play the devil music on the air.
Yeah, the jungle music. Yeah, can't be. Can't be having that boogaloo. What's that reporter called it? Jungle. What was it? Jigaboo music.
Jigaboo, yeah. What's funny is it was a reporter from Cleveland. She worked for I think her name was I forgot her name, but she was, and the weird part about it was she was talking about Lady Gaga.
Hang on a second.
She wasn't even talking about like hip hop or nothing. She like, yeah, all that jigaboo music.
Yeah, she was talking to a black guy too when she said this.
Yes.
Like I don't know about that jigaboo music.
Okay.
It was
here
funny,
it is.
Man.
Wow. Wow. Christy Capel is
Christy
her name.
Capel. Yeah.
Yeah. The caption on YouTube. Oh my God! I'm just looking at this freeze frame. So there she is, and she looks like just your average basic white girl. and her black co-anchor is looking at her like, "Excuse me," in like the caption pictures, the thumbnail pictures that they have. Good God.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Classic
white people.
I ain't say it. I ain't say it.
I'll take a knee like Nancy Pelosi right now.
Oh God, don't go there, man. With the kente cloth, spare us that. Spare us that, please. So shit, man. Plug what you got going on, man. Is the podcast back on? Let us know where you're at, where we can find you streaming. Let us know what projects you got going on, man.
Okay, so basically, I want to somehow make the podcast that I was doing and then got a little lazy with because I was going through like a little mopey depression deal. Thanks, Seattle.
I feel you.
But I'm putting it live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Gallant Says, every weekday at 3 o'clock. Won't always be at 3 o'clock, but that's the target time. And afterwards, that same podcast, which you get to interact with me on that and do some of the Ask Me Anything shit that Rockett and I used to do back in the day. You can do it on Twitch only, but you can listen to it on wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and it's on YouTube too, the entire podcast too. Of course, I'm doing this show on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. It's called Vanessa and Gallant, and it's every weekday from 10 to noon. Other things in the oven, I guess, right now, but 1 month in, this is what I've been doing thus far, and it's been a whole lot of fun. And Rockett, thank you so much for having me on. Figgy, you guys, I miss you guys so much.
Yeah, I miss you too, man. We gotta link up again for sure.
Absolutely, I'm honored that you brought me on finally too. And hopefully,
you know you're the third white person that ever been on this podcast.
Yeah. So we got to name them now. We have Fred Davis the first.
It might be four. You might be the fourth.
Yeah, we getting up there. We almost in the double. We almost at
We're
5. So we getting there though. So shoot.
We getting up there.
Yeah, we appreciate you making time for us, man. I know you're busy, man. I know you got going on, but like I said, we missed you a lot. Great to hear you back on the Houston airwaves, y'all. Make sure y'all check out Paul's podcast. Make sure you check out his Twitch stream. Make sure you check him out on Twitter. Gallant Says. Great content as always, man. Funny guy, one of the most talented people working in Houston right now. So yeah, make sure y'all check his content out, man, for sure.
Thanks, guys. It's a blast. Happy Friday, happy weekend, and
thank you.
Thank God Deshaun's gone.
Yeah.
He's your problem now, Figgy.
Hey,
I know, man.
Are you truly prepared for the Davis Mills era, Paul?
No.
You're not part of the Mills mania?
Fucking kidding me? No. But we'll see. I'm not going to rule out the possibility that he's decent, but geez, I mean, we have been down this fucking road before.
Yes, thank you, man. Thank you.
Brian Hoyer, Ryan Mallett. Remember, we thought that was an actual quarterback competition.
Houston, we have a quarterback.
Oh,
it's sad, man. I thought we was gonna get more in the trade, but I'm glad he gone so we can move forward and focus on the rebuilding the Texans.
It's only been happening for 20 years now.
Yep. Back at square one, but hey, nowhere to go but up at this point.
Yep. I don't even know if the Patriots good anymore. Jesus.
Yeah. How do you feel about? Oh, I saw this clip today. I know we were saying our goodbyes for a second, but random aside, I saw Ted Johnson, our good friend, float the idea that Bill Belichick could be on the hot seat if he has another mediocre season. Do you agree with that?
I love Ted. I think when you're in Boston,
he hates Bill.
When you're in Boston, the negativity seeps into you when you are in that market, and you're almost like trying to out negative each other at all times. So imagine like a souped up version of me, because I'm a cynical, skeptical person. And I mean, I think I would be like Mr. Sunshine and Rainbows in Boston. That's not to say that Ted doesn't believe what he's saying. I I have a hard time buying into the idea, though, that Belichick would ever be on the hot seat there, you know? And if there is a hot seat, it's like, hey, they're going to like give him the greatest retirement ceremony of all time on the way out.
Mm.
Yeah. Would he have a last dance? Would he have a whole documentary?
He would have a Coach K bullshit kind of run, I
Okay.
guarantee you.
Yeah. Yeah. Real quick before you go, man, I got to say rest in peace to John Clayton. I
saw that, man. Sad.
Yeah.
So he was on our show every day at 7:15. You know, he's basically Seattle's John McClane as far as the radio scene there, but obviously everyone's seen him on ESPN. If you haven't looked it up already, look up the ESPN This Is Sports Center commercial he did. It's
classic one.
So we would get into arguments all the time, and I always thought they were fun. I think most Seattle listeners thought that he hated me, but he actually was really nice. I remember whenever we were in the locker room together before the pandemic started, he would tell me stories. He was very friendly. And, you know, when I got fired, he was one of the first people to reach out to me. And I had this awkward situation where my 1 hour radio show ended up like replacing his daily show at one point. And it wasn't of my own choice. So there was always a moment where I was like, wait, I mean, how does he feel about this? But clearly that was something that was in the back of his mind. And his wife, Pat, is basically the rock of his life. And he had done an incredible job taking care of her. And she's dealing with MS, which is, for those who don't know, I mean, it's an extremely debilitating disease. And I mean, that guy is, as far as husbands go, I can't think of many who would do whatever it takes for his wife the way that he did. And I think that really speaks volumes about his character. So he was quite the character. Yeah, it was something that this week I heard that he wasn't doing too well. And just a couple hours ago, found out the news. But I mean, one of the best football reporters we've ever seen. But more importantly, that's a good man. And I'm really thinking about him, his wife, Pat, right now, and his family. It really sucks. So I guess it's my on-air rest in peace.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I never met him personally myself, but no, he always, you know, seemed one of the most plugged in people reporting, man. So definitely big loss for the industry as a whole. So yeah, rest in peace, man. That's very sad to hear on a already pretty sad week. You know, lost other legends as well. So yeah, tough, but shit.
Yeah. That's life. Enjoy it while you can. Take the good things from the people that do pass and try to make them a part of you.
That's all I can do, man. Just keep on pushing. Keep on pushing. But sorry to end that on a sad note.
Yeah,
man,
football
I know, right? Sorry to end it a sad note, man. But yeah, like I said, take care, man. Make sure y'all check out this man and his content. Great, one of the greatest, most talented people we got in Houston right now. Make sure you check out his show, check out his Twitch stream. Follow him on Gallant Says on Instagram and Twitter. I believe the same handle, right?
Yeah, it's all, just look up Gallant Says.
Yeah, look up Gallant Says.
As you all said, the really white person.
You'll find the smorgasbord. Yeah.
Most interactive radio show in Houston.
Yeah.
That was your tagline.
Yeah. That was us.
That was the best tagline.
It was, man. It was. I feel like you changed the game in a way, because I felt like you brought the internet to radio, at least in Houston, where nobody else was doing stuff like that. Nobody else was doing Ask Me Anything Fridays or whatever. Yeah. So you brought Reddit to radio, man. It was a dope thing.
Thank you.
And also created history for me because I was listening to you when the Astros won, and it was
Rockett. 8 hours of fun.
Yes, that was awesome. Yes, I stayed up all night.
I know we're never gonna get out of here, but
I know.
Now I want to talk about this. Who all did we have on that night, Rockett? Because
okay, we had of course, you know, Kyle King was on. He was downtown. We had people like Astros fan. I know people, you know, hardcore Astros fans. We also had Bun B on. We had ESG on, and a few other people too. I can't remember else, but I remember those at least that joined. And yeah, it was a great night, man. We popping bottles of champagne. Yeah, it was great night. Great
Minus
night.
$11 Andre, baby. Let's go. Classy shit.
Yeah. So shoot, how you feel about the Astros this year, man? Do you think they're gonna keep Carlos Correa? Do you think they'll run it back?
It feels like they're the last team in on Carlos Correa. There's been sort of some noise about maybe the Orioles are in or the Tigers, but it's a bunch of loser teams that are essentially in the mix. So I don't know that also he will be told by his agent, Scott Boras, to sign a deal, because I don't think Boras would get 100% of the commission would Correa sign this year. So there actually might be a way for Scott Boras to advise Carlos Correa to sign some sort of deal that gives him like 1 year and then an opt-out or something like that. Now, I don't know all of the specifics on that front, how contracts go, but I think Correa is going to be back. And honestly, even though I think it would be probably crazy to pay him, there's a sentimental part of it. But this guy's looking at a camera and saying like Cody Bellinger is fucking blind, essentially, like staring at it like a WWE wrestler. I mean, he won my heart forever in that moment. And you know, it's good to be back. I now have a weird relationship baseball wise because I did come to like the Mariners while I was there.
Oh no, Paul.
I'm in an open relationship now. That works, right?
No, it doesn't.
We hate the Mariners, man.
you hated baseball before you covered the Astros. Remember that.
That's true.
This team made you love baseball.
I did, but the Mariners were really fun last year, and I liked that team a lot. So, you're right. I do generally hate baseball. I will admit, though, it's going to be weird. I would root for the Astros over the Mariners, but it's going to be weird. It's really going to be weird when those games happen. Maybe I'll be one of those assholes who has like a half shirt for both teams.
Oh, no. Oh, that's only if you have kids on both teams, man. Come on now.
I do have kids
on that as a fan.
I had sports radio sex with both teams.
Oh, so, yeah. Shout out to Tab. He said Rockett and Galan have this best sports radio show in Houston history. Thank you, man. We appreciate that. Yeah. Well, right, I guess we'll end it for real this time.
Well, you know what though? I mean, I'm all here for you guys saying like, "Hey, Paul, we love you," blah blah blah. So you can do it one more time.
Yeah. We renovated radio all over again. Nah, we do got love for you, man. Glad to have you back in the city. Like we already said, make sure you check out that man and everything he's doing.
Thanks. And let's all catch up in person soon. That'll be great.
Oh, for sure. We're gonna link up, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Do it. All
right, bro. Peace.
Take care, man.
Peace.
All right. That's quite the 200th episode extravaganza, man. I feel like we covered the entire history because I feel like our podcast started when I was working Paul's show. And it would end at like 11 o'clock. So we would record the podcast from like
early, bro.
Sometimes midnight. Yeah.
Yes.
So we start recording at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. What about that? Wow. Yeah.
That was tough because I felt bad for y'all waiting for me, but I'm like, man, it's the only time we could do it really. So
yeah, we were scared to record throughout the day and all that shit. Remember that?
That was our night. Yeah.
Then remember the time y'all.
But then again, that was during a time when the studio was full. And everybody was using studios. Now it would be no big deal, but back then, it was different.
Yeah, and remember y'all got into it about Jay-Z versus T.I.
Top 5, of course.
Yeah, you put T.I. in the top. You put T.I. over Jay-Z.
Just to get under Rockett's skin.
I remember that. I mean, you said something else too. I'll never forget. You called Ty Dolla $ign the Nate Dogg of our generation.
Yes, which he is. He had his moment. Yes.
The Nate Dogg had more than a moment. Okay,
no,
he wasn't popular for a couple of years and then fell off.
I don't know where Ty Dolla $ign is now.
Exactly, nobody does. Nate Dogg had the late 90s through early 2000s on lock. You couldn't go nowhere without hearing no Nate Dogg hook. You can go plenty of places not hearing a Ty Dolla $ign.
In the early 2011, 2010, you couldn't.
Yeah. He didn't stick out like Nate Dogg. Nate
Man,
Dogg.
he ain't got no classics.
Oh my god!
And then you saying you said Rihanna was better than Beyonce without a doubt.
Yeah,
Well,
that's-
you said Rihanna was bigger than Beyonce. I remember that. Not better, bigger.
Facts.
Jules, come on
Still-
now. Bigger.
Stand by that.
Musically,
She can't
Rihanna ain't dropped an album in 10 years.
she can't sing by like Beyonce, but yes.
She don't. Okay, at least you admit that she don't sing like Beyonce.
Yeah.
But no,
Look, Rock Nation, supporter, advocator.
Rihanna is Rock Nation too. Stop it. They all Jay-Z affiliated.
Oh no.
With that one.
Mhm. And Rihanna ain't dropping no album no time soon.
No
neither.
time soon. No, she's
Yeah.
dropping that baby. Did that break y'all's heart to see that she was pregnant?
Why? I was happy for ASAP. I was like, hey, this is a come up, a true come up.
Yeah, niggas, you could get anybody you want.
Yes, that's
It
what I
was
said.
But you had to approach them. Have the courage to approach
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
I had a whole rant about this because I'm like, look, this should give any man motivation because we talked about this. You could argue ASAP is the least talented rapper that Rihanna ever dated. She dated Drake. She dated Travis Scott. I'm sure others. Chris Brown. I know he's not a rapper. He's a singer. But you could argue ASAP is the least talented artist that she dated.
What?
And that's the one that knocked her up, got her pregnant. That's because he believed in himself. That's all it takes. Yes, Drake is ahead of ASAP Rocky.
No, I ain't talking about Drake, but maybe you can back me up. But early ASAP isn't better than Travis Scott.
What? Early ASAP.
Early ASAP was
what early ASAP project is seeing Astro World?
Say that again.
What early ASAP Rocky project is seeing Astro World?
His first mixtape that they just put on Spotify.
Live Love ASAP. Yeah, that's what got him on.
Yes,
that's bigger than Astro World. That's bigger than Sicko Mode.
But
yeah, not bigger, but better.
I'm a pretty motherfucker. I'm Trill, Swangers and Candy Paint, New York shit. That nigga wasn't rapping.
No, see, y'all hate on ASAP because he the one that tried to put the whole chopped and screwed on gang as if he created it, and he did not. So I give him that because that was not ASAP. But first ASAP, what I thought was better than first Travis for me.
I wouldn't even go there. Days Before Rodeo was better than Live Love ASAP. Let's be real. It was. Come on now. Come on now. And I'm not even the biggest Travis Scott fan. Don't get Jasmine in here. Jasmine go off on you for dissing Travis.
Yeah, you see this shit.
Jesus.
Yes. Oh shoot, we're at the 3 hour mark, man. So we probably go ahead and wrap this up. But yeah, what a great episode 200. We got rated by some random people, which was kind of crazy for a minute.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do some research. Where everybody coming from?
Hey, it happened when we were talking about relationship shit.
Yeah.
So maybe we might have to bring back What a Bro Knows if this is the most popular part of the podcast, because we had a whole raid of people chiming in about, you know, women and men and dating and the man's place and woman's place. So I'm like, hey, I'm down to talk about that. Fuck it. But that was just super random. I don't know where people came from, but
that was crazy. I don't appreciate people talking about my damn hair.
Leave Figgy's hair alone.
Yeah,
that man got his own style. You ain't talk about George Clinton when he was out here innovating with the hairstyles. Figgy is our own George Clinton, man. He's doing his thing. Don't be dissing on a man's hairstyle. But yeah, shout out to everybody who tuned in, man. Shout out to all our guests. Shout out to the lovely Jasmine. Shout out to, of course, Jules, the very lovely and talented Jules, for joining us again, making the reunion complete. Shout out to Paul Gallant for joining us as well. Yeah, man, exciting time to look back on 200 episodes. Still hard to believe we got this far, you know.
Yeah. Now it's time to make it to 500. Let's go.
We got to start doing double time if we want to make it there. We're going to be 45 years old at 500 at this rate. But
Yeah, we better be on Rock Nation at that point.
Yeah, we need a contract.
We still right here doing this podcast at 500. We might need to
we got
evaluate
kids
ourselves.
crying in the background and shit.
Yeah.
I will throw an exclusive party for Rock Nation welcomers all over.
So, Jules, if you got an invitation to the Rock Nation brunch, would you go?
Hell yeah, I would go.
Exactly.
I'm about to say, you better go.
You gotta go.
And you better take a picture with Beyonce.
I'm gonna make sure y'all don't give me any drinks. They don't give me any drinks.
You gotta sell yourself, remember. You gotta sell yourself, a piece of yourself.
Yeah, you gotta go in the back room and sacrifice.
All right. I'll give a pinky. I wouldn't do that.
But yeah, shout out to everybody listening, man. Shout out to Tab, of course. We see you in the comments. Love you, man. Yeah, everybody who's rocked with us since episode, I don't even think episode 1's on our SoundCloud anymore or on our.
As it should not be.
Yeah, it was bad. I think we started at like episode 3.
Really?
But shout out to everybody who listened from day one, man. We love y'all, or people who listen for the first time today. Man, we're just people who, want to start a podcast about hip hop and other shit, and it turned into this 200 episode behemoth. So we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're gonna be back at it again next week, but until then,
peace.